And here we go. Yes, indeed, we are back here today for another night in the NBA for the playoffs. Here tonight we have the Magic taking on the Pistons. It should be a good one, a possible close-out series. How did we end up here where the Magic could possibly close out the Pistons? But we got a couple of things we got to go over, including Franz Wagner not being available to play tonight. Unfortunately, now this game is in Detroit, so they should have the advantage in both of those aspects. No Franz, you're back at home. It is a closeout game. You are the more desperate team, at least you should be. But in the NBA, amazing happens. So we'll see if Orlando can pull off some magic one more time. Let's start the show. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. We are back in the building. We are in Detroit here today. Earlier start time. We do have two other games on the slate. One of them is another closeout game. I thought both of them were. One other one is a closeout game. That is the Rockets taking on the Lakers. That one is in Los Angeles. Pretty big game for the Lakers there. The other one, the 7:30 start time, ESPN start time game, is the Toronto Raptors taking on the Cleveland Cavaliers in a tied series. Who would have thought we would have ended up there? The East has been turned upside down, including the Boston Celtics taking an unexpected loss at home last night, yet again, to the Philadelphia 76ers, with Joel Embiid just kind of dominated the entirety of the game, especially after that first quarter. They had no answers for him. Philly ended up pulling it out in somewhat dominating fourth quarter fashion. The Celtics yet again shooting themselves out of the game, but we're not here for the Celtics here tonight. Just kind of pointing out how ridiculous the East has been this year, but also how unpredictable these games can be. We also, remember, tuned in to that rock fight that was the Raptors taking on the Cavs in Game 4. And so here tonight, I bring all of that up because we know what these teams are capable of. We're in Game 5 now. We know how they match up. We know what we're going to be looking for. We know this is going to be an incredibly physical basketball game outside of one quarter. In Game 2, the third quarter, this has been a very back and forth series here. And so tonight, I don't expect anything different, even without Franz Wagner, who started to round back into form and started to look like Franz Wagner again, coming off the injuries in the regular season that just completely derailed all of the progress he had been making. Really disappointing showing. Not really disappointing showing. Really impressive showing these last couple of games. Disappointing in the way it started. My guy AP getting us started off with a very generous super chat. Appreciate you, AP. Said, what is that phrase they like to say to us when they come to our rooms trying to start a rivalry? Next year, y'all can go to Orlando chat rooms, Detroit. I haven't heard that one, but shout out to that. Shout out my guy AP with a very generous super chat to start us off the right way here tonight. Now, I still think that Orlando could pull this off. Now, obviously playing behind the 8 ball, you're already on the road. You're playing an extremely desperate number 1 seed. You're losing Franz Wagner, and we could talk about the avenues in which that will affect this Orlando team the most. But this is the playoffs, and Detroit is favored by 10.5 points. I'm looking at it now. That is a lot of money. That's a lot. That's a large point spread right there. I'll tell you this right now. In order for Orlando to pull this off, they're going to need a star performance from Paolo Banchero, who has played like a star all series long after a tumultuous regular season where he was up and down constantly. They're going to need Jalen Suggs to be Game 1 Jalen Suggs. They're going to need 15-plus points, if not 20 points here from Jalen Suggs here tonight. He's going to need to play like the third guy because the second guy is out, meaning that Desmond Bane now steps into the second guy. And we've seen Desmond Bane start to knock down shots in this series after a very, very rough Game 2, Game 3, Game 4, or was it Game 3? I think it was a rough Game 3, but either way, the last two games, Desmond Bane has been phenomenal. They've taken both of those games in Atlanta, my goodness, all over the place. Taken both of those games in Detroit, taking the commanding 3-1 series lead. Desmond Bane, obviously is going to garner far more attention here tonight because of one, how well he's been playing, but also two, no Franz Wagner, but also three, between Banchero, Bane, and Suggs. Now, your top three guys are fairly inconsistent, not just players, but also shooters. Bane, obviously a little bit more reliable of a shooter, but this season was pretty inconsistent with his three-point shooting, mostly because it's tough for them to create three-point opportunities when you really only have one guy you have to worry about on the perimeter. With Franz now out, that paint will now shrink a little bit more depending on who they put in that starting lineup, but Desmond Bane, Jalen Suggs, Paolo Banchero, if they want to end this here tonight, they're going to have to play like they're the desperate team. And that's always hard to drum up fake desperation when you're not necessarily as desperate as the team that genuinely could lose and have their season come to an end. And if Detroit loses in round one in 5 games as the 1 seed going down to the 8 seed, that is a disastrous season, no matter the success of the regular season. So we have a very, very interesting matchup here tonight, right? We lay all of that out to say this is going to be a fun game. Now, I expect Detroit to come out. I expect Detroit to punch them in the mouth, especially here in game 1. We'll see how they match up. Losing Franz Wagner means that they lose their primary defender on Cade Cunningham. He's done an excellent job on Cade. He's played fantastic defense. I think they probably switch the matchup and try and put Suggs on him. Suggs can be a bit foul prone. We'll see who they decide to put on there. We'll see who they decide to go into the starting lineup. In the regular season, they tried a couple of different guys. They tried Tristan da Silva. Tristan da Silva is not physically capable of guarding Cade Cunningham. So I'm very interested to see how they match up now, considering that they lost their primary wing defender as well as a guy who's really starting to get it going offensively. But we can go down the regular rotation here. We can go down over the bingo card, and then we can get to the tip-off. We'll go around the rest of the league and see the other games going on here tonight and talk about them real quick. But with that being said, Fungpei, appreciate you, brother. He said, real desperation is tasty like fear. Crazy comment. Appreciate you, Fungpei. Jimmy Pope, what's up, Jimmy? I expect Detroit to come out swinging, as they should, especially at home. You try to come out, throw a couple of haymakers, get the crowd on your side, shrink down Orlando as much as possible, wind down their confidence, and then hopefully you build up enough lead to pull it out at the end. And you know, Detroit is looking for a blowout win, a confident blowout win. Orlando just can't give them that, as well as obviously competing to try and win the game and end the series. But Ian Parkins, what's up, Ian? AP, Orlando has 3 chances. You can't think that way. They do, you're right, but you can't think that way if you're Orlando. If you're Orlando, this is game 7 to you. The last thing you want is to give this Pistons team confidence. MBM, what's up, MBM? Canadian, what's up, Canadian? You know, it doesn't feel right seeing a 1 seed down 3-1 like this. Well, maybe the most fraudulent 1 seed of all time. Going a little too far there. But, yeah, I mean, there were very real concerns that people had with this Pistons team, and everybody made it known earlier in the season before the trade deadline happened, and everybody expected and thought that the Pistons should go out and make a move to improve their roster, and unfortunately for Pistons and Pistons fans everywhere, the GM decided, nah, let's see how it plays out. We have years ahead of us, and you don't always have years ahead of you. You can never expect health. I mean, look at all the teams with players going down with injuries. You can never expect health. You can never expect the bracket to break your way. You can never expect regular season dominance, again, because you can never expect health over the course of an 82-game regular season with the way the game is played now. You can't just rely like, well, we'll be back here next year. You can't rely on that. Can't rely on that. And then next thing you know, you're paying Cunningham. You're going to have to pay during this offseason. Thompson's contract's going to come up. You got this Ron Holland decision you got to make. I'm sure there are going to be trades they're going to be looking at. Next thing you know, you're down assets. You're going to lose out on first-round picks likely to improve your roster and trades, right? Now you're staring down the barrel of a gun where these things that you traded for better work out, or your job may be in jeopardy. You better make sure you find playoff success, or your job may be in jeopardy. Maybe it makes you a bit more desperate. Next thing you know, you're 2, 3, 4 years in, and you've yet to make a conference finals. I'm looking at you, Philly. It goes quickly, man. It goes quickly. There was at one point Philly was looking at Joel Embiid, Ben Simmons. They traded for Jimmy Butler. Then they had Tyrese Maxey. Now they have Edgecombe, and they're still looking, and they're like, maybe, guys, maybe we can make a conference finals. You never know. You can never rely and consider. Well, we'll be here again. Will you? Are we confident about that? TT in the morning. What's up, TT? I'm stressed, but I'm going to go down with my team. Let's go Pistons. That's the mentality you got to have. Yes, sir, TT. Eric C. What's up, Eric C? The Fleas. What's up, Fleas? Lano Monas. My guy, Rotan Calzone. Yes, sir. Said, isn't a treat to view the #1 NBA team. Man, Orlando, if they pull this off and they eliminate the Pistons in the first round here, they have the possibility of going up against the Raptors in the second round. We'll see how that series plays out. Obviously, that pivotal game 5 is here tonight. Shout out everybody in the chat. Benzino, George Pearson, appreciate you. Ian Parkins, I think I already said what's up to. What's up, Ian? Susan, of course. What's up, Susan? AP with another very generous super chat. Appreciate you, AP. He said, do you see Detroit lucky to get to play handicapped teams? These regular season champs played us with those conditions. I think they did something. I talked about this after they went down 2-1. Detroit played the regular season as if it were playoffs, right? That was their strength. That was their superpower. In the regular season, they played harder than you. You had to match their intensity and their physicality. They played it, and their mentality was, this is a do-or-die game every single night in the regular season. And if you didn't come in with that mentality against the Pistons, they were going to embarrass you. And that happened 3 times in a row to the Knicks. That happened 3 times in a row to the Knicks. And they celebrated like it was a very pivotal game for them. And when you're a young up-and-coming team, it's important to have that mentality, but it's also important to remember that come playoff time, everybody's dialed up to a 10, not just you. And it looked like Orlando wasn't fully prepared for that. I don't know. I mean, Orlando was fully prepared for that. It looks like Detroit wasn't fully prepared for that. I don't know if this is simply just a bad matchup for the Pistons. I know a lot of that has been litigated over the past couple of week and a half now that the playoff series has gone on. But I also think it's a byproduct of resting on their laurels of thinking, we'll come in here, we'll dominate, we'll win the physical matchup. And again, it goes to my point of like some teams and some GMs and some owners look at the rosters and like, oh yeah, our core is 24, 23, and 22 years old. We're good. We're good for the next 5 years. We'll be back again. And again, I'm looking over at Philly. Will you? Will you be back again? I'm looking at the Knicks. We're now 5 years under Leon Rose, and it's like, will you be back every single year? They had a first-round exit, then a second-round exit. They missed a first-round exit. They missed the playoffs. Second-round exit, conference finals exit. Right? And now we're back in the playoffs this year with championship aspirations. But that's 5 years into it. Right? So 5 years from now, you're looking at these guys in their prime. You're paying for everybody. You're trying to rebuild the bench. You don't have draft assets. There's a lot that could go wrong for this team, including the fact that the Knicks have been mostly healthy outside of one playoff run. Right? They've been mostly healthy outside of one playoff run over these 5 years. That is not something that teams, that's really fortunate luck for the Knicks. That's also them spending a lot of money for their medical staff. Can you rely on health, right? What if Cunningham suffers an unfortunate injury ill-timed? What if he has a high ankle sprain going into the playoffs and now he's out? Now look at the Timberwolves. They got a young core, man. Look at that young core. Anthony Edwards on the rise, out for the playoffs. Dante DiVincenzo goes down. He's out for probably all of next year as well. And you never know when you're going to be able to be back and compete again, right? And so the Pistons getting ran out off the court essentially in this first round series where it's 3-1 and Orlando has felt like they have had the advantage all series long outside of one quarter is not where you want to be. It hasn't necessarily felt back and forth. Even though the scores have been very close and whatnot, Orlando has held the edge. And you don't know. And you don't know when you're going to be back. AB said 6 years. It's been 5 years. He took over like halfway through the other year and he just was like learning on the fly. It's like 5.5. Sons Jen said, it's like a thumb stuck in there. Crazy. Scomberg, what's up, Scomberg? Getting ready for the Magic to take the series at Detroit. Popcorn ready. Here we go. At Detroit is going to be tough. Detroit is very good at home. They were 31-9 during the regular season, and Orlando is only 500 away, 19-20. Nick Yak, what's up, Yak? We've been better every year since Brunson got here. They have, but they made it to, like I said, with Brunson, second round exit, last year conference finals. This year we'll see. They have been better every year, but if it doesn't ultimately culminate in you winning a championship, what is it going to culminate in, right? A forgotten bygone era. Like we look back at the 90s and we're like, awesome. We have reverence for the 90s. You walked away out of the 90s with no championship. 2 finals appearances, right? Ultimately, during an era where you have your window, the goal is to walk out with at least one. Obviously, you want to stack as many championships as possible. Everybody feels that way. The goal is to walk away with at least one. Just that the Detroit Pistons need a 3-game winning streak to avoid joining the infamous list. Yep, only 6 top seeds in the NBA history have flamed down the first round of the playoffs as a number 8 seed. How many times has it happened during the, when they switched over to making it a 7-game series? Nikki, what's up, Nikki? Skonberg says, Detroit needs more than they have right now. Tobias Harris is the second option, free agency. They need a legitimate 1A for Cade. I don't know if they need a legitimate 1A for Cade. I think they need secondary ball handling, and I think they need 3-point shooting. Go star hunting, sure, fine, that's great. Go get Michael Porter Jr., which is what people told them to do during the trade deadline. But, yeah. He said, check out the new profile pic. AI is amazing. I'm not a fan of AI, so I'm good, brother. Rose Pierce said, Bane has the wingspan of a... I don't even know what that means, Rose Pierre, but yes, sir. This is a real picture of Desmond Bane. I'm going to put it out there. It's a real picture of Desmond Bane. The forgotten fifth man of the starting lineup, Wendell Carter Jr., might not be forgotten after this series. He is completely locked up. Completely locked down. Jalen Duren. All-star Jalen Duren. Likely to make All-NBA Jalen Duren. Going to be eligible for a max contract. Jalen Duren. And Wendell Carter Jr. has just nullified him. 100% just nullified him. He has not been a factor at all in this series. Anthony Black probably also... Anthony Black's probably going to step into the starting lineup in for Franz Wagner here. Because I think his athleticism and size and defense is kind of one of the only players who can get out there and kind of replicate some of the things that Franz did. He's not the size that Franz is. He's not the physical defender that Franz has been. He doesn't match up as well with Cade Cunningham, but he's probably their best option off the bench. Again, I would not go to Tristan da Silva myself, keeping him coming off the bench. Christian Blaze, what's up, Christian? Only 4 of the 6 number 8s won in a 7-game series. 4 is pretty high, though. I thought there was going to be like 2 or 3. Just off the top of my head. But 4 is pretty high. 4 of the 6 is pretty high. So the starting in the starting lineup for the Magic is Jamal Cain, who had a phenomenal Game 4. Interesting. Here we go. The Flea said, I need a big game from Black. Hope he's locked in. Yeah, they're going to need pretty much all hands on deck. Goga Batadze, Tristan da Silva. Cade Cunningham is going to have to continue to be Cade Cunningham. He's going to have to cut down on the turnovers or else it ain't working out. Jalen Duren is going to have to do something in this series other than give them 10 and 5 because that ain't cutting it. All-Star Thompson is going to have to be All-Star Tom. He's going to have to dominate the defensive side of the court to mitigate his offensive weaknesses. Tobias Harris is just going to have to continue to be solid. It's unfortunate that he's their second option or their best second option with Jalen Duren turning into a pumpkin, but he is. He is. Ron Holland is no longer part of the rotation, mostly because he's an All-Star Thompson clone. And if you can't knock down perimeter shots and you're not as good of a defender, you don't have much value on the court for them during a playoff series. Isaiah Stewart has been phenomenal. Arguably, should be playing more. Not even arguably, should be playing more than Jalen Duren in the series because he's been fantastic, especially defensively. Herter gets spot minutes here and there, doesn't have a ton of impact. Duncan Robinson's going to have to knock down his threes here tonight. But here we go. Ready for the tip. At Detroit, Jamal Cain gets the start on Cade Cunningham, who has it up top, coming to his right. Suggs switches onto him. They get it over to Duren down low. Bane comes over, knocks the ball out of his hands. He sees a double team, keeps it, spins towards the baseline, spins back the other way, puts up the floater, got it to go, and 1. And that's a star for Jalen Duren right there. That is a star for Jalen Duren, isolating on the block, getting it to go, and 1 over Carter Jr. So Duren's at the foul line for 1 more, and that's already 1 foul on Wendell Carter Jr., which is huge. Our bingo card, as always, we'll go through it when we have the time, but you can see it up here. You can go through it yourself. Usual things. Canadian said the Jamal Cain dunk was tough. It was insanely tough. Probably one of the best dunks I've seen in a while. It was true, like chest to chest. I'm just going to rise and jump right through you and throw it down on top of you. A true blue poster. We don't see a ton of those anymore. Duren knocks down his and 1 free throw. Banchero up top, picked up by Duren on a switch. Mid-range pull-up jumper over him. They're going to need him to knock down those shots. He can't knock down the first one. Thompson skies for the rebound, bringing it down the other way. All-Star Thompson up top, crossing over to his left, has it in the mid-range, picked up by Banchero, pulls it back out. trying to get it up top to Harris, coming to his left up the screen. Banchero switches onto him. He's going to dance with it, cross over to his left, leans in, draws the foul. Can't get the little floater to go, but he's going to go to the foul line for 2, and that's already 2 fouls in Orlando to start. Detroit being aggressive, and you're going to have to adjust to the way the officials are officiating this game. Rose Pierce said, dang, Pistons leading? Game over already. AP said, pushed off TV screen, pushed off TV the screen with that dunk. That dunk was insane. It got me hyped. It got me popping off. Harris misses the first free throw, though. He's got one more coming. So Tobias Harris misses 2 free throws, but Duren with the offensive rebound back inside to Tobias Harris for a big one-handed hammer for Tobias Harris. So he misses both free throws, and yet he still ends up with 2 points. A rough start for Orlando here in Detroit. They get over to Banchero up top, coming to his right, has Harris on him, catches, pump fake, steps through, swings it out to Bane along the baseline, pass fake, layup, got it to go. Okay, gets him up on the board early. There you go. Here comes All-Star Thompson bringing it down. He has it on the right wing, picked up by Suggs. They get over to Duren up top, trying to hand it off to Cunningham. They do. Kane chasing him around off the Duren screen, coming to his left, pump fake, gets it over to Thompson, wide open, attacking the paint, down the lane, kicks it out to Duncan Robinson, ran off the line by Bane, has it along the baseline, kicks it out to Cunningham, left wing 3, they'll dare him to shoot it all night. He obliges, can't get that to go. Loose ball rebound, knocked away by Suggs. Banchero picks it up, saves it over to Bane. Bane pushing the other way. Bane up top, he's going to be picked up by Duren. Bane, in and out dribble, pulls it out. Step back 3 for Bane in transition, can't get it to go. Battle for the rebound, picked up by Tobias Harris, and now here come the Pistons and Harris. Lobs it over the top to Duren, beating them down the court, goes up with the layup, gets fouled. He's going to the foul line for 2 more. And Duren and the Pistons want to goaltend as well. Jamal Cain came over on the help side. And it looks like a goaltend. Are they giving it to them? Or are they still looking at it? Tiz Blocker, what's up, Tiz? We got 10:20 to go. All right, timer. Let's go ahead and catch up. We got we got Duren at the foul line for 2 free throws. They don't give him the goaltend. He knocks the first one down. He's got another one coming. Christian Blaze said he was looking out for the bingo card. I actually lowered his point props on the bingo card. Where is he? He's up here. Duren for 20 points tonight. Lowered it from 25 down to 20. I thought about going to 15, but I was like, I can't do 15. It's got to be 20. It's got to be. He's a star. You got to have those expectations. But he's off to an excellent start so far here tonight. He's already up to 5 points. Bane swings it over to Suggs. Suggs attacking to his left. Foul line. Floater comes up short. Bouncing on the rim. Can't get the friendly bounce. Harris with the rebound. Bringing it down the other way. Hit ahead to Thompson. Thompson, full head of steam. Attacking the rim. Blows right past Suggs. Smokes the layup. But a foul on Jalen Suggs. And Suggs can't believe the foul call. 9:55 to go. See the replay on it? Didn't look like there was a ton of contact. You got to challenge that. If you're Jamal Mosley, you got to send this message early to the refs. This is where I think it's very important to send the message to the officials. Stop calling these ticky-tack fouls early. They are giving Detroit every single call. Scott Foster officiating this? Are we in, as Thompson misses another free throw? That's 3 missed free throws already for them. Is Scott Foster officiating this? Is the extender in the building? I forgot Tobias Harris was also missed the 2 consecutive free throws. I don't even have that pulled up to edit it, but let's go ahead and pull it up. He misses 2 again, but the rebound right back to Thompson again. 2 in a row, twice in a row. They swing it over to Harris, and it's out of bounds. A bad pass from Cunningham. Who would have thought it? A bad pass from Cunningham. On 2 separate occasions, Detroit Pistons have stepped to the foul line and missed 2 consecutive free throws, but both times they've been able to pick up the offensive rebound on the second missed free throw. This time they couldn't convert, though. Banchero has it in the post, still 2-7, being guarded by Harris in the paint, flips it up with the right-hand hook, throws up an air ball. What was that, Paolo? I've never seen him go to a hook shot like that. Here comes Cunningham bringing it down against Suggs to kick it over to Harris. Harris trying to drive it down in the paint, hesitates, goes up, gets it to go, and the foul. My goodness, these fouls being called early. I get that there's some contact, but is this the playoffs or not? Harris going to the foul line for one more. Another foul was called, and Detroit, I believe, already in the bonus. And that is indeed a foul, but again, there's a ton of contact here. Just that said, the refs are John Goebel, Curtis Blair, Kevin Cutler, and Trey Maddox. Well, I think John Goebel is a really bad official. The other ones, I guess, are fine. I don't really know who they are, but my goodness. The fouls so far here. Harris misses another free throw and another offensive rebound off a missed free throw for the Pistons here. I don't even know how to fully explain what's going on here with the Magic. This is the Magic team I expected to show up in the series as Cunningham turns it over again. Bane jumps the passing lane all the way to the basket for the lefty layup. I mean, Cade Cunningham is doing his best to keep the Orlando Magic in this game so far. This is the Orlando Magic team I expected to show up in this series. Just dysfunctional, not ready to go, not fully aware of the game plan, and not fully prepared to get it going. Duncan Robinson, a straightaway three, can't get it to go. Battle for the rebound, tipped up and in by Jalen Duren. Is he still dominating the interior now to start the game? This is a rough look for Orlando. They're trailing by 7 here. Excellent start for the Pistons. Bane will fire up a left wing three, and he's going to quiet the crowd for a bit. Big time shot for Desmond Bane, who's got that three-point shot going around now. We'll update the bingo card in a second, but you guys got to make sure you remind me during the next dead ball. Cunningham has it in the post, being guarded by Kane. Backing him down, backing him down, backing him down, backing him down, leans in, follow-away jumper over him, high arcing, got it to go for Cade Cunningham for his first basket of the night. Here comes Orlando pushing it the other way. Bane on the right wing. Rhythm dribble, pull up three. He's feeling himself. Can't get it to go. That's his third attempt already. He's 1 for 3. Here comes Thompson off the rebound, pushing it the other way. Has it on the right wing. Calling for his teammate. They get over to Harris. Harris up top, curling to his left, off the Duren screen, all the way to the basket. Gets blocked by Carter Jr. Excellent defense. Banchero with the rebound, shot out of a Kane and bringing it the other way. 1-on-1 against Duren. Kicks it in the corner to Kane. Laying off the line by Robinson. Coming to his left. Kicks it back up top to Bane. Bane being guarded by Cunningham. He takes away his airspace. Can't get the shot off. Bane coming to his right. Robinson picks him up. Coming to his left off the spin. Down in the lane. Scoop layup with the right hand. Can't get it to go. Carter Jr. the offensive rebound. Hop step in the paint. Kicks it out to Banchero. He'll take the lane. Euros. Lefty layup. Can't get it to go. But a foul on Jalen Duren will send him to the foul line for 2. Helter-skelter play all around. It's going to end with Banchero free throws. And the officials still giving these little ticky-tack fouls. This time it goes against the Pistons. And Banchero will go to the foul line for 2. If you're Orlando and you're seeing all the missed free throws already for Detroit, you got to make sure you capitalize on these opportunities. Math's up. What's up, Math? Mark, what's up, Mark? Get well soon, Joshy Poo. Josh, if you guys didn't know, Josh is questionable for tomorrow's game with a sore back, I think it was. But as Banchero misses a free throw, what is going on with these missed free throws, man? These missed free throws. We had 2 consecutive missed free throws, by the way, so I'm going to throw that right there. Anthony Black is going to sub in for Jamal Cain. Banchero does at least knock down the second one. Here comes Cade Cunningham bringing it down against Anthony Black. 13-8. Cunningham coming to his right against Suggs. Stepping back. A corner 3 for Cade Cunningham. Splashed in nothing but net. It's a good sign for the Pistons that Cade got the perimeter shot going. Knocked down 2 jump shots early here. 1 in the paint, this one from 3. Banchero pump fakes from 3, spins, gets it up to Suggs. Suggs being guarded by Harris, back to Banchero. Left wing, jab step, pump fake, rhythm dribble, step back 3 for Banchero. He answers right back with a 3 of his own. All right, big time shot for Banchero. Again, down Franz Wagner. You're going to need Banchero to get buckets tonight and somewhat efficiently. You're not going to be able to afford the inefficient play that he's had the past couple of games. They get over to Duncan Robinson up top, catches. Pump fake, being guarded by Carter Jr. and a switch to get over to Duren, being guarded by Banchero. Duren sees multiple bodies. Banchero picks his pocket. Carter Jr. back up to Banchero, 2-handed slam. What a defensive play for Paolo Banchero, who's bringing it so far here tonight. What a play. Thompson up top, spinning off of Suggs, all the way to the rim, under the basket, over to Harris, swings through to his right, mid-range pull-up jumper over Banchero, in and out, can't get it to go. Thompson with the tip up and in, though. All-star Thompson, still tagging that offensive glass, his second offensive rebound of the night. Here comes Anthony Black bringing it down. He has it up top, gets it over to Carter Jr. on the left wing, hands it off to Bane, being chased by Robinson, coming to his right. He's got space, puts up the 3, can't get it to go. Fight for the rebound, picked up by Harris. Suggs almost picks his pocket for the steal, but Duren able to pick up the loose ball. And now here comes Thompson bringing it down. And that's a foul on Desmond Bane. That's a foul on Desmond Bane. And then I think Duncan Robinson had something to say. Now Bane's got something to say. Now we're getting, players pushing each other away. Duncan Robinson, he don't want no part in this. He's going to walk his way back to the bench. 18-13. Here we go. Nick Yak said Orlando better start boxing out. Oh, yeah. That's it, Anthony Black in, so that's an improvement. I like Jamal Cain. I like the effort he's playing with. He just can't match the size of Franz Wagner. He's not gonna throw Wagner off. He's not gonna throw Cunningham off. My goodness, all over the place with the names tonight. Not gonna throw Cunningham off with a size that Wagner is able to do so. And there's really nobody else other than, I guess, Banchero who could do so, but you need Banchero in the paint, especially to guard Harris, and to help out on Duren in the paint. Christian Blake said Josh Hart is questionable. He is indeed. He will be playing, by the way. He's questionable because he has a sore back or a contused back, but he will be playing. He's not gonna play a pivotal game, Game 6 in the playoffs. He's playing. Joe's dad said we're being punished by having Game 6 on ESPN. I don't know if there's any. I guess Prime is the best. I know Prime has. No, he's on NBC. Reggie Miller's on NBC. I think the best place to play, the best streaming service to play on is Prime. NBC, Peacock, they're all right. I just don't love some of the broadcasting deals they have. ESPN, we know, is pretty garbage. They're at the bottom of the totem pole, in my opinion. Jonathan Isaac is inactive? Why is Jonathan Isaac inactive? Kevin Huerter is inactive, too. Who do you go to? Kevin Huerter was part of the rotation. Do we see Ron Holland again, or does Detroit just shrink the lineup? 18-13, by the way, might I add here, 18-13 after the Rockets start that Detroit got off to is okay for Orlando. Obviously, Detroit's going to have the advantage with no Franz Wagner and being at home and having the crowd on their side. And an excellent start for Jalen Duren for 7 points and the 3 rebounds, but you got a full game you got to play here. We're at the halfway point of this first quarter. We had a bit of a fracas. We'll see what comes of it. I'm sure they're gonna look, because there was some pushing and some shoving, and see if they got to hand out technicals anywhere. I hope they don't. Let's just keep it playing. I didn't love the foul call on Bane. I didn't see if Bane did foul. All I saw was the end where it looks like Duncan Robinson leaned into him and gave him a little bit of a chicken wing elbow. And Bane knocked Bane to the ground. So that's the only part I saw. I don't know if there was a foul prior to that, which the official saw and decided to call that. I don't know. But the officiating has been pretty suspect so far. A ton of ticky-tack fouls being awarded to the Pistons so far. But if I'm Orlando, I'm taking it hard into the paint. I think they've settled for a lot of jump shots. So they've taken a lot of jump shots. Banchero with 2 personal fouls. Bane now with 2 personal fouls. Literally 2 of the most important players on your team with 2 personal fouls halfway through this first quarter. Not great. Not great. Eric Lyerly with Eric. Let's see if the Pistons can get one. Let's see. 3-1. Nick Yak said a lot of fouls for 6 minutes. A ton of fouls. The officials controlling this game right now. Haven't loved it. Killing a lot of the flow and the pace of the game here. But Duncan Robinson at the foul line for 2. These are 2 extremely physical teams. If you're going to call every foul the way they have is Duncan Robinson misses a free throw. That's the 5th missed free throw already for this team. My goodness. 5 missed free throws tonight. Bane to the bench. Banchero will stay in with the 2 fouls. Carter Jr. with 1. Suggs with 1. This is also a byproduct of all the fouls being called, is you're going to have a ton of foul trouble here tonight. Robinson does at least knock down the second one, finally. They knocked down a free throw. 19-13 here, 6 minutes to go. At the halfway point of this first quarter, Banchero bringing it down against Harris. Coming to his right, he's got a lane all the way to the basket. Scoop layup, got it to go for Paolo Banchero. A great screen from Wendell Carter Jr. there. It's back to 4, 19-15. Back and forth they go. Pistons holding on to a slight lead here. Jenkins gets it over to Duren. Duren up top, being guarded by Carter Jr., hands it off to Robinson, off the handoff, throws up the three. Got it to go for Duncan Robinson. Duncan Robinson going to get it going after a little bit of trash talk with Desmond Bane after those foul incidents. Here comes Banchero bringing it down, being guarded by Harris. He has it up top. Banchero coming to his right. He's going to stop, pump fake, swings it in the corner. Wendell Carter Jr. going to pump fake, blow right past Jalen Duren, and there's a foul on the floor in Jalen Duren. Foul on the floor in Jalen Duren. Is that his second foul as well? I think that's his second foul. So many fouls being called here tonight. It's either his first or his second. I'm waiting. Oh, there it is. There's his second foul. It is his second foul. I thought it was. But they're not in the bonus, so it's not out of bounds. Duren's going to sub out. Carter Jr. is going to sub out. Batase is going to come in. De Silva is also in the game as well. So going 3 players off the bench now for Orlando, along with Suggs Banchero. You have Stewart in the game as well. They throw a lob to Anthony Black off the inbounds. My goodness, I literally looked down for a second waiting for the inbound, and next thing you know, Anthony Black is flying through the air for a two-handed slam. Here we go. Jenkins has it up top, being guarded by Black, hands it off to Thompson. Thompson being guarded by De Silva, or not being guarded by De Silva because nobody's guarding Thompson here in this series. Harris down the lane, gets the layup to go. The Orlando pulls their hands back, not looking to give them another and one with these little touch fouls. And so now Banchero bringing it down, looking for a response. It's a 7-point lead for Detroit. Again, holding on to a nice lead here. They swing it over to De Silva, left wing three. He's got some space. He can knock down the three. Rebounded by Thompson. They're pushing the other way. Detroit up top. Thompson struggling with his handle. Gets it over to Harris. They'll slow it down a bit. Harris has it up top, being guarded by Suggs. Harris swings through to his right, off the Thompson screen. Spins to his left, swings it over to Thompson. Thompson up top, gets it over to Jenkins, coming to his right. Jenkins calling for yet another screen, coming to his left against Black. They get it over to Thompson down the lane. Layup, got it to go. Beautiful pick and roll between Jenkins and Thompson as they take a 9-point lead. Home run pass to De Silva down the lane, takes a bump, lefty layup, can't get it to go. But a foul is going to send him to the foul line for 2. 9-point deficit, 4:20 to go here in this first quarter. Mike Walton, what's up, Mike? Sons Gen said, Scott Foster doing the Cavs Raptors game. They sent the extender to the wrong game, man. It was a scheduling mix-up. Scott Foster needed to be here tonight to extend the series. De Silva knocking down the first one. He's got another one coming. Although the extension, not looking too bad so far for Orlando. They're hooping. Sons Gen said, apparently they post their day's assignment online at 9 a.m. if you're ever curious. The refs, I do know that they post them. I just don't care. It's more of a bit than anything. I always phrase it that way for a reason where you're gonna have to, as De Silva misses the second free throw, all these missed free throws here tonight. I always phrase it as you're gonna have to adjust to whatever way the officials decide to ref the game tonight. You're at their mercy. They have control of the game. So if they're gonna allow physical play, then up your physicality. If they're not, you're gonna have to find a way to dig it out. And there's another loose ball foul. And Orlando was like, you gotta be kidding me with these, man. And there's another loose ball foul. It's going to send Harris to the foul line for 2. How's it going, Mike? How's it going, brother? You have a vested interest tonight? You rooting for Orlando? You rooting for Detroit? You rooting for a good game like me? So that's a foul on De Silva now. His first. Harris at the foul line for 2 free throws. Knocks down the first one. Finally. He knocked down a free throw. Yak said, crazy amount of missed free throws to start the game. Yeah. Insane amount. See, these officials, though, I'm sure they were given the directive to try and extend the series for Detroit, but they're just not as good at it as Scott Foster is. Scott Foster can walk that line of making it seem like he's not favoring one side, but we all know he's kind of favoring one side. Here tonight, it is very clearly the officials are favoring one side of the court right now. Banchero down the lane looking for a foul, doesn't get it. Loose ball, Banchero able to pick it up in the paint, goes up against Cunningham, a layup, got it to go, and he's looking at the official like, come on, what was that one down there? You didn't give me this call here? So Harris did knock down the free throw, by the way, so it's 20-28. Cunningham is back in, he has on the right wing, dancing with it against Banchero. Spins off of him, Banchero has the 2 fouls, can't lean in any further than that. A rebound put back by Isaiah Stewart, and Orlando is looking at the official like, you're not going to call that push off? You were calling a loose ball foul previously on a little ticky-tack foul. But that one you're not going to call? It's getting a little obvious. It kind of sucks. It kind of sucks to watch. Banchero loses his balance and throws the ball away. Here comes Cunningham and the Pistons. They have the advantage over Jenkins. Right corner three in transition. Comes up short. Battle for the rebound. Batadze picks it up. And he gets it over to De Silva. De Silva will bring it down. An eclectic group of Orlando Magic out there right now. Banchero really the only guy who can do anything. Banchero step back midi. Can't get it to go. Rebounded by Stewart. They get it over to Cunningham, bringing it down. You got Banchero, Jamal Cain. They get it over to LeVert, blown past the defense to the rim for a two-handed slam and a timeout for the Orlando Magic. And this, not looking good. Not looking good. Suns and Jets said mid-game strike. 20 points in the paint for the Detroit Pistons. And they've missed so many opportunities at the foul line here tonight. They're trying to hand this game to them on a silver platter. It's just slowly but surely taking fruition here. Fung Pei said, since this game is ridiculous, I'm going to start talking trash. Fung Pei said, just stop playing. Everyone stare at the officials. It definitely felt a little bit like that. Nick Yak said, can the Raptors pull off another win? Yeah, can they? Can they? I mean, I'll tell you what, if this game is not great, we'll just switch over to the other game. Switch over to the other game that's tipping off in like 5 to 10 minutes. So, Toronto-Cleveland switch, we might. As a matter of fact, I'm going to pull up the thumbnail real quick over here and just change it so that it says Game 5 on that one. And if anything, I'll just switch the thumbnail on this video. I'll switch the title, and we'll switch over to the other game. But we'll see. It's only a 12-point game, but the way the game is being officiated, it's a little too obvious, man. It's a little obvious. DT in the morning said if they play brick ball again, Raptors could get it. They could. Something I wanted to look up, though, the reason why I went to the screen is we wanted to look over the box score. I wanted to see how many missed free throws they have so far because Detroit is definitely leaving food on the table right now. It is 6 of 12 from the free throw line already. They've taken 12 first quarter free throws. That's 6 points they left on the board. Even if we called it all even. Even if Orlando made their 2 free throws and Detroit made their 6 free throws, it's a 4-point swing. That is a 16-point lead here in the first quarter. We'll see if they change up their officiating after this first quarter, but it's been a rough watch, man. I don't like the way the game is being officiated. Let the teams play. MEM said Orlando will make a run. I hope so. I wanted to bring up the PSD file for a possible switch. If we have to, I really don't want to, but if we have to, we will. That is Game 5 over there. We'll keep an eye on that one. Last one was an absolute rock fight that I thought was extremely entertaining. I thoroughly enjoyed that game, but it was a rock fight nonetheless. J3, what's up, Jay? Sorry I missed you last night, but maybe I am bad luck, so it was a blessing in disguise. Good to see you. Good to see you, Jay. It's not you. It's the Knicks. It's always the Knicks. We can't influence our favorite team. There's nothing we can do. Joseph, what's up, Joseph? Even if we go to 7 games, we're going to advance. It's in the Garden. You can't take Game 7 in the Garden for granted. You just can't. So you got to avoid Game 7 as much as possible. Bump. So I'm going to get this set up just in case during the timeout period there. Just in case we have to switch over. I don't think we will. I think Orlando will make a run. I think this will be a close game. But we're going to leave it at that. Game 5. Cade already has 2 turnovers. He's trying to give it back to Orlando. He's trying to keep Orlando hanging around. They got to take advantage of their opportunities as well, though. There we go. We're ready if we have to. And Paolo Banchero rushing it down the other... Anthony Black, rushing it down the other end of the court for a score. 22-32. Right back into it. 10-point game. Here we go. 2:30 to go. Should have ticked down the timer a little bit more. Cunningham up top. Swings it over to Jenkins. Crosses over to his right. Down the lane in the paint. Gets swatted by Batadze at the rim. He tried to go for a poster dunk. Here comes Anthony Black bringing it down. Great block from Bataze. Black bringing it down. Hands it off to Kane. Gets it over to Bataze. Bataze hands it off to Kane. Coming to his left. Now coming to his right on the rescreen. Kane in the paint. Manipulating. Throws up the floater. Over 2 defenders. Got it to go down for Jamal Kane. Back to 8. Here comes Orlando in a mini run. See if they can survive the end of this first quarter here. Keep it at single digits. LeVert has it up top, being guarded by De Silva. They get it over to Cade Cunningham up top, being guarded by Kane. Cunningham swings through to his left off the Stewart screen, picks up his handle, swings it over to LeVert. LeVert, cross-court pass. Danish Jenkins standing in the corner all by himself. 3, can't get it to go. Bane knocks the rebound over to De Silva. Bane back in with the 2 fouls, but they got to keep one of Bane or Banchero on the court at all times. And Banchero subbing out. Bane slipping and falling. Lost his balance again, just like Banchero did earlier. And Danish Jenkins all the way to the rim on a 3-on-1 fast break gets the layup. Unfortunate. Mark said, avoid more games than necessary. Yup. Can't take Game 7 at home for granted. Bataze has it up top, being guarded by Stewart. Fakes the handoff, keeps it, gets it over to Anthony Black. Jab step, coming to his right, driving it down, pocket pass. Bataze in the paint, pump fakes, steps through, spins, hook shot, can't get it to go. De Silva right there for the tip up and in. Orlando hanging around, but Detroit, 34 points in this first quarter is excellent for Detroit here tonight. And I don't have this up for you guys. My bad. Relic, what's up, Relic? Justin VJ, what's up, Justin? Stewart gets blocked in the paint, but fouled by Bataze. Another foul. And Stewart will go to the foul line for 2 free throws here. Nick Jackson, I promise nobody in the chat can affect the score. I wish I could affect the score, man. I wish I could affect games. I'd be doing all I could. Isaiah Stewart, by the way, had 8 blocks in the last game. I didn't even notice. I mean, I did notice he had a lot of blocks. I thought it was like 4 or 5, though. He had 8. My goodness. Boom Pace getting a lot of help to get that 34. I mean, still got to make the shots, though, right? I'm with you. I hate the way the game is being officiated here today, but I'm with you. They get it into Anthony Black. Stewart does knock down both free throws. Black will bring it down. He has it up top, being guarded by Jenkins. Anthony Black, winding down a little bit of time, gets it over to Bataze. Bataze gets it over to De Silva. De Silva spins against LeVert. Good rotation from LeVert. You got to make a quick decision if you're De Silva there. Stop, half spin, fall away jumper at the foul line. Off the back rim, can't get it to go. Battle for the rebound, knock loose. Cunningham picks it up. He'll bring it down, hold it for what could be the final shot of the quarter. Although there's about a 4-second difference between game clock and shot clock. Cunningham up top. Directing traffic, calling out a set. Wants to run a pick and roll with Danish Jenkins. No, with Javonte Green. Coming to his right at the green screen. Now calling Jenkins over. He wants Bane in the action. Bane's got the 2 fouls. Cunningham crosses over, gets caught in the air, kicks it out. Danish Jenkins, the deep straightaway 3. Off the back rim, can't get it to go. Long rebound back to Cunningham to the rim. Lefty layup, got it to go. Cunningham looking for the foul. He didn't get it, though. And 3 seconds to go here. They get it in the Bane. Bane's going to have to heave it. Bringing it down, half court, bullet pass. Kane can't get it off in time. And that'll be the end of our first quarter. 38 first quarter points here for the Detroit Pistons. That could be a bit of a killer here tonight, just with how little scoring has gone down here. Very reminiscent bit of a run, not as to the extent that Game 2's quarter 3 was, but a very similar quarter for Detroit in the sense that they dominated it defensively for the most part, and also was able to turn their defense into offense, which for a team that struggles in the half court to generate good shots and make shots because their lack of good shooting, getting 38 points in a quarter is miraculous and can at times often decide a game if they can get it. Mark said 14 free throws for Detroit versus 4 for Orlando. Yeah. And it's not like Orlando's not driving to the rim, because they are. Christian Blaze said, forget it was the most or top 3, some random cool stat from First Things First. What was that? What was that stat? I don't know. Kwame said, Detroit may win this one. They got it. I mean, they are at home. There is no Franz Wagner. Refs helping them out a little bit in that first quarter. Hopefully it evens out as the game goes on. It should. Oh, Stewart 3 blocks. Yes, that's a good one. Yeah. They put it up. It was a franchise record for Detroit, a franchise playoff record for Detroit, 8 blocks. in a playoff game. Mark said, I do think that Orlando will fight back. I do too. This team is playing with too much confidence right now to not put up a fight. We'll see. It's only 12 after a pretty rough first quarter. Seems like for the most part they survived it. But if the game continues in that way, obviously they're going to end up losing somewhat handedly. Villanette TV, what's up, Villanette TV? Late, but I'm in the building, Sheffield. Let's go Lakers. There you go, Villanette TV. Trying to end your series here tonight. I see you. Is Austin Reeves coming back? Is he playing? Chaos Kid. What's up, Chaos Kid? All right, I'm going to leave that at that. The other game should have tipped off by now, so let's pull that up real quick. We also didn't go through our bingo card. We could do that as well. But that game has not tipped off yet, actually. At least it's not showing it did here. Villanette TV said, I hope so. We need AR-15. 10 o'clock game, so I guess you still got a couple hours before they have to decide whether or not he's playing. I'm sure he's like a game time decision at this point. I know he was questionable in the previous one. We can go through our bingo card real quick. We got Duncan Robinson for 3 threes. He's got 1. Carter Jr. for 15 points. They're going to need all hands on deck. So this was originally Wagner. We changed it to Carter Jr. He had to. He's not playing Wagner. A technical foul, which how trippy this game is going and how frustrated Orlando might get with the foul situation. We could see some technicals start flying. We have Cunningham for 30. A jump ball, a double-double. Banchero for 30. You might have to lower Banchero for 30 to like 25 or something. Just because, but with Franz Wagner, I thought about doing that, but with Franz Wagner out, they're going to have to get 30 from Banchero. They're going to want to be able to pull this one off here today. Let's pull this back up for you guys. A goaltend. Have we had a goaltend yet? No. We thought there should have been a goaltend call, but they didn't call it. Any player for 3 blocks, and with Stewart having 8 blocks in the previous game, that seems pretty decent. We have Duran for 20 points, and he's gotten off to a rocket start, 7 points in that first quarter. A triple-double, successful challenge. Suggs for 3 stocks. We'll go through the box score and see if he has any yet. I don't think so. Anthony Black, 12, 3 and 3. Again, all hands on deck. They're going to need him to put up points here tonight. He's got 4. A flagrant foul, failed challenge. Thompson for 3 stocks, a 4-point play. We're back into it. Bain has it up top. Player fouls out. Harris for 15. Bain for 3 threes. A shot clock violation and a travel as always. They get it into Bataze in the paint. Gets fouled. Okay, side out of bounds. Start of the second quarter. Here we go. Yak said, should have Cade for 5 turnovers. I thought about putting a turnovers thing on there, Nick Yak, but I don't love the negative bingo cards because I don't want to root for the negativity of a basketball game. Again, I'm always rooting for it to be a good game, unless it's our Knicks. I want our Knicks to blow them out. But I'm always rooting for these games to stay close. Bain swings it over to Kane. Pump fakes over to Anthony Black. A left corner 3. He's been off all series long, but he got that one to go. They're going to need Anthony Black to show up in a big way here tonight. Him knocking down a 3 is a great sign. We know he's capable. He had a pretty excellent leap this year in the regular season, but he's not had that same leap here in the playoffs. LeVert up top, coming to his left off the Stewart screen. Hands it off to Cunningham. Coming to his right off the Stewart screen again. Cunningham up top, dancing with it against De Silva. Coming to his left, driving it down in the lane. Throws up the floater, comes up short. De Silva the rebound. Nice defense there for De Silva that time. Getting the stop. Hit ahead, cross the court pass to Bain. Crossing over down the lane. Leaves it off for Bataze in the paint. Gets stripped out of bounds off of Goga Bataze. They might need to try and bring in like a Javon Carter just for offensive production, but we'll see. TT in the morning said, thank you for not laughing at our turnover pain, Chevy. Stewart, a straightaway 3 comes up short. Kane, the rebound. It'll bring you down the other way. I really like Cade Cunningham, but yeah, man, he's got to cut down the turnovers. Way too high. If it was like 4 or 5, I'd give him the excuse of like, oh man, he's got so much burden, not a second ball handler on this team. But he's got like 7, 8 turnover games, man. Like, you can't have that. That's way too high. Anthony Black down the lane, tries to throw a bullet pass in the corner to Kane, gets picked off by Thompson. Home run, hit ahead past the green, gets it over to LeVert to the rim. Layup, can't get it to go, comes up short. Battle for the rebound, knocked out of the air. Bain picks it up. Bain gets it over to Black. He'll bring it down the other way. Anthony Black, shot out of a cannon, in and out dribble, coming to his left, leaning in, throwing up the floater. Can't get it to go, fight for the rebound. And it's a loose ball foul on Goga Bataze, holding on to Stewart. Detroit boy, what's up, Detroit? Bonita Crandon, what's up, Crandon? James Sumler, what's up, James? You know me, I'm here for the support. Yes, sir, James. Yes, sir. Appreciate you, brother. All right, here we go. Cunningham on the right wing. We're back into it. Off the turnover. Cunningham coming to his left, pulling it back out. Cunningham dancing with it, coming to his left off the Stewart screen, driving it down in the paint. Step back, turn, spins, foul line, fall away, got it to go as Jamal Cain hit the floor on the little stop, turn, pivot fade from Cade Cunningham there, and he got it to go down. Here comes Anthony Black bringing it down. Kicks it up top to Bane. Bane swings it over to Cain on the right wing. Jamal Cain. Hits it over to Bataze in the high post. Hits Cain cutting back door. Leans in. Gets blocked by Stewart. Thompson picks up the rebound. He's pushing it the other way. Full head of steam. Leaves it off. Cade Cunningham. Trailer for a three. Got it to go for Cade. And another timeout as the Pistons go up by 14. There you go. Disray. What's up, Disray? Ozahar. What's up, Ozahar? Detroit said, this is the Orlando everyone expected before the season started. They're peaking at the right time. They are, but unfortunately, the injury to Franz Wagner may throw some cold water on how hot they have been, man. It's unfortunate. Unfortunate timing for a hamstring injury. A calf? Is it a calf injury? Hamstring? Or a lower leg injury, man. It's tough. Fungpei said, what do you trust more? The answer or the process? Definitely the answer. Give me the answer. Give me the answer, man. If I have the answer, then I don't even need the question. We don't even need to know the question because I already got the answer. But when it comes to the process, we don't even know if we're going to get to the end of the process. How long do we have to trust this process for? Markel Griffin, what's up, Markel? Or Markel, what's up, Kel? Kel from Detroit, yes, sir. Yes, sir. 14-point lead early. Great sign for Detroit right now. Fungpei said, yes, sir, brilliant. No need for the process. You already got the answer. Yeah. We don't need to go through any kind of process. We got the answer already. Having to stagger Bane, you got to lean on Suggs as well. But having to stagger Bane and Banchero, and both of them playing in foul trouble so far, is tough. End of days with the end of days said switch games. This is the game we're committed to, so unless this ends up as like a 20-point plus blowout, we're not going to switch games. We're going to give Orlando the benefit of the doubt that a comeback is indeed possible. But we will keep track of the other game. We'll see how it goes. The game should have started already. It's 7:47, so we should be about 15 minutes into that one, and it is 12-7 already early here. Take a look at the box score. Detroit winning the next 3 games. We'll see what happens with Franz Wagner, but it's not out of the realm of possibility. Not at all. Not at all. All of these games have been close. Could have gone either way. Orlando just out-executing you down at the end, but with no Franz Wagner, they might be at too much of a deficit moving forward. So it's 12-8 early here. RJ Barrett, 2 for 2. He's knocked down a 3. 2 boards, 2 assists, doing a bit of everything. Look at RJ move. Look at him go. Jacoby Walter finally knocked down a 3. My goodness. They're 2 for 2 on their threes. You can tell a lot more scoring already. A lot more made baskets as opposed to the previous game we watched between these two teams. You go over to the Cleveland side. James Harden going off. 2 for 2 from the field. Knocked down a 3. A free throw as well. Outside of that, not much. Mobley 1 for 2 from the foul line. Allen 1 for 2 from the foul line. No fouls for Cleveland. Look at the foul situation for Toronto here. They've already picked up 3 fouls. Barrett, Pirtle, and Walter already with 1. Okay. We'll keep an eye on this game as it goes on. Nick Yak said, if Cleveland loses, what do they do? I don't know, brother. See what the market is for Jared Allen. See what the market is for Evan Mobley. Make a decision there. You have to make a decision on some point because clearly that unit, that core 4 that they got going on, not moving the needle. If you lose to Toronto in the first round, not even losing to Boston or New York or Detroit, you lose to Toronto in the first round, you're in blow it up territory. That's for sure. Here we go. We're back into it. They get over to Anthony Black on the left wing. Anthony Black trying to get it to Banchero, loses the handle, picks it up. He's got no more dribble. Finally gets it to Banchero, being guarded by Thompson. Cross-court pass. Cain in the right corner, closed out to by LeVert, crossing over to his left. Step back 3 over LeVert, draws the foul. He's going to the foul line for 3 free throws, I assume, here. A horrific foul from Caris LeVert. A reckless foul. Just overplaying Jamal Cain. What are you worried about? Jamal Cain knocking down a step back 3 on you? Just play him tough. Just play him tough. See the replay on it? I think he got him on the way up. This is a terrible challenge. It looks like JB Bickerstaff and his toes are behind the three-point line. That's what I'm looking at now. He makes contact with his left arm on his way up. It is not a ton of contact, but that's contact. Mark said Toronto is not a good team. Said, oh, I'm rooting for Toronto. Toronto's good. They're just not like a great team. They have a ton of deficiencies in their roster. They're missing their starting point guard, Emmanuel Quickly. That's another thing. If Cleveland goes down to Toronto missing Quickly, who's like one of the three most important players on that team, if not the second most important player on that team behind Barnes, man, you lose to Toronto without one of their best players. That's already one of the least deep teams in the playoffs. Yeah, you're looking at blow it up territory. You're looking at what's the market for Mobley? What's the market for Jared Allen? What can we combine off our bench to go out and get a better player? Because they've already shuffled the bench players a ton. Remember, they had DeAndre Hunter. They had Ty Jerome. They pivot off of those guys. They bring in Keon Ellis. They bring in Dennis Schroeder. They moved Max Strus to the bench. None of it's worked. None of it's worked. And honestly, it mostly comes down to the fact that Donovan Mitchell, he's got like one awesome playoff series under his belt, and that's about it. And everybody treats him as if he's this playoff riser. Hasn't really been that. James Harden, we all know his playoff failures, the fact that he doesn't show up in those games. We know Jared Allen, Evan Mobley get bullied down low in the paint. Like, this is a Raptors team without really a ton of bigs. They got Jakob Poeltl, and that's about it. Sandro Mamukelashvili is a 6'9" big. They're playing rookie Colin Murray-Boyles, who's about 6'9". Like, what are you doing getting bullied by those guys down low in the paint? That should be impossible. They're in the last game, they had R.J. Barrett cross-match on to Evan Mobley multiple times. Like, that was the matchup they were going to. You can't be guarded if you're Evan Mobley and you're like 6'10", 6'11". You can't be guarded by R.J. Barrett. You just can't. Not consistently. Maybe RJ steps up, he gets a couple stops on you. That could happen. That's fine. Okay, I get that. You can't consistently be stopped by RJ, especially when you have the reputation of getting bullied in the playoffs, man. Don No More Music, what's up, Don? He said, just stopping to say hi and sending positive vibes. A Mellon, Ontario Reign versus the Coachella Valley Firebirds. AHL playoff game tonight. Appreciate you, Don. Appreciate you, brother. Enjoy your time. Enjoy your game, big dog. Yes, sir. MBM said, Spider wants to come to New York. Cavs about to have a fire sale. He ain't coming to New York now, I'll tell you that. Not unless it's for a discount. Christian said, if Toronto eliminates the Cavs in the first round, the Cavs will have a lot of questions to answer. And the only answer is, like I said, gauge the market. Gauge that market, man. Hit a mini reset. It's an unsuccessful challenge, and Caris LeVert was trying to tell his bench. It's so funny, they show the replay. Caris LeVert was trying to tell his bench not to travel. An absolutely horrific challenge from JB Bickerstaff and his staff. Why? Why challenge that? Nagyak said, Mobley is like Bam, just not consistent enough to be a number one or a number two. I get what you're saying, Yak. I think that's disrespectful to Bam. At least Bam is forceful and doesn't get bullied come playoff time. Bam has, not as a number one, but Bam on a number two made a finals, next to Jimmy Butler. So that's not like, and Evan Mobley has yet to show up in the playoffs. So to me, that's disrespectful to Bam. I get what you're saying, but that's disrespectful to Bam. Bam has shown up as a number two and made the finals with Jimmy Butler, right? As a number two, behind him, obviously. So Jamal came to the foul line. We have a failed challenge that could come back to haunt them, or maybe not, as obviously they hold a pretty large lead here. Kane missed the first one. He does knock down the next two. It's a 12-point game. 9 minutes to go here. Dennis Jenkins will bring it down. And a little full-court press here for the Orlando Magic, just trying to throw them a different look, and they easily break it. Thompson has it up top, being guarded by Banchero. We'll throw the failed challenge up in a second. Jenkins up top, coming to his right off the Duran screen. Down the lane, in the paint, pass fake to the basket, layup. Can't get it to go, but a foul is called. He's going to the foul line for two. More free throws here tonight. All right, so we got 2 free throws from Dennis Jenkins. Let's go ahead and where is the failed challenge? Down here. Jenkins makes the first one. It's 2 fouls on Anthony Black. I mean, at this rate, I'd be surprised if anybody survives this game not fouling out with the way the officials are officiating right now, man. My goodness, can we let these guys play a little bit? This is a game that tipped off at around 7:10. It may not end until midnight at this point with how many stoppages and free throws we're getting from these officials. Guys, it's the playoffs. Let these guys play. Here comes Banchero bringing it down. Has it up top, being guarded by Green. Coming to his right, now crossing over to his left, gets Anthony Black, cutting to the rim in the corner. Wendell Carter Jr. pump fakes out of it, gets it over to Suggs, ran up the line by Thompson, and Suggs mishandles it off his leg. Here comes Jenkins pushing the pace, leaves it up top to LeVert, extra pass to Javonte Green, right corner 3, nothing but net, and the confidence and everything rolling right now. Dennis Jenkins did knock down both of his free throws, by the way, so it's 48-31. 10-2 run here for the Pistons, a 17-point lead. Banchero up top, coming to his left. Inside pass to Anthony Black, layup, gets defended well by Duren. Rebound knocked out to De Silva. They get it back to Banchero, being guarded by Javonte Green. Jab step, coming to his right, steps through, gets fouled. He's going to the foul line for 2. Corey Skeets, what's up, Corey? Is a reset coming if the Cavs go out in the second round? Depends how you go out in the second round. It's not as dire, but those questions will come up. I do think they'll still gauge the market, but they won't be as pressed to make a move. But I think if you go out in the second round, and it depends how you go out, but if you go out in the second round, do you get blown out? Is it a close series? Yada, 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 all those things. Banchero knocks down the first one. He's got another one coming. I think they gauge the market, and they heavily consider separating Mobley and Allen. It's just clearly not working. It's not working between the two of them. Banchero does miss the second free throw. It's a 16-point game. Here comes All-Star Thompson and the Pistons with just under 8 minutes to go here in the second. Thompson up top, coming to his right, being guarded by Suggs. Suggs applying a ton of pressure. Coming to his left off the screen. Suggs driving it down in the paint, under the rim. Kicks it out to nobody. Actually gets knocked out of bounds by Banchero as he threw it at his feet, so it's going to stay here with Detroit. Boom Pay said, this is a preview of Lakers OKC. Oh, I don't think it'll be this close, brother. I think it'll be a much more dastardly blowout. With no Luka Doncic and a hampered Austin Reeves just coming back from injury, yeah, I don't think it'll be that close. Duncan Robinson up top, coming to his right to Duren screen. He puts up the three, can't get it to go. Banchero the rebound. And Paolo Banchero will bring it down. 7:30 to go here. Banchero up top, tagging to his left against Cunningham. Down the lane, draws yet another foul. There you go. If the officials are going to call it tight, continue to put your head down and put the pressure on them to keep it consistent. So far, they're keeping it mostly consistent. That's the first foul on Cade Cunningham. J3 said, do you think Josh plays tomorrow or not? Going to be tough without him. Yes, I do think he 1,000% plays. I don't even think there's a 1% chance he doesn't play. Banchero knocks down the first free throw. He's got another one coming. Ruzande, what's up, Ruzande? Young on, what's up, Young? Just checking in to click the thumbs up button. Appreciate you, Young on. Ruzande said, I'm not a Heat fan, but I'll take Bam any day of the week. Let's go, Knicks. Yeah. Bam's good. Bam's real good. Cunningham has it up top, dancing with it. Off the 2 made free throws from Banchero. Cunningham, mid-range jumper, comes up short. Can't get the friendly roll. Rebounded by Banchero. He's pushing it the other way. It's a 14-point game. Orlando trying to chip away at it, and Banchero dribbles into a pull-up 3, and he knocks it down. Wow. Paolo Banchero putting the team on his back. 16 points here in this first half so far with 7 minutes to go. He's open. Cade Cunningham looking for the answer. He leans in and draws a foul. He's going to the foul line for 2. So 2 free throws again here, this time from Cade Cunningham. A lot of stoppages, a lot of fouls for both sides. Starting to stack up here. Favoring the Pistons, but Orlando just doesn't have as many attackers. Franz Wagner out. Cunningham knocks down the first one. He's got another one coming. Cunningham knocks down both. 13-point game. Just under 7 minutes to go here. Banchero bringing it down. He has it up top, being guarded by Harris. Banchero coming to his right. Dancing with it against Cunningham. Coming to his right, spins to his left, spins back to his right. Crossing over, loses the handle. And now here comes Harris bringing it down the other way. Doing a little too much there from Banchero. Harris, Euros, lefty layup, can't get it to go. Battle for the rebound. Black does a great job knocking it over to Banchero. To 3-on-2. Over to Banchero in the lane. Goes up, layup, got it to go for Paolo. Powering through the contact of Thompson. Good defense from Thompson, not the foul. Banchero got the layup to go anyway. It's an 11-point game. Okay. Almost halfway through this second quarter here. Dern has it up top, trying to get it down low. It's Cunningham. They can't. Good denial defense from Black. They get over to Thompson. Now over to Harris. Harris, pass fake, keeps it. Gets it over to Dern. Dern up top, being guarded by Carter Jr., who's back in. They hand it off to Duncan Robinson, who gets fouled by De Silva. And it's a foul on the floor. I assume they're in the bonus here. Bane is going to check back in here. De Silva, not a great night tonight. Not a great night tonight from De Silva. Is mostly on the defensive side. MBM said, keep it close. Detroit will feel the pressure. I'm sure they will. I'm sure they will. Yak said, with the league pushing gambling, they should be more honest with the injury reports. Yeah. Yeah, it's fair. 100%. I mean, even without the gambling, they should be more transparent with the injury reports, yeah. Duran has it up top, tries to shovel it over to Harris. Gets knocked out of bounds by Anthony Black. So it'll stay here with the Pistons. They have 5 on their shot clock. 6 minutes to go. Freeway hustler. What's up, Freeway? I hate when players lean in and get fouls. I hate it too, brother. It is awful. It really sucks. I hate that the officials give them that call. If the offensive player is initiating contact like that. What is this call? What is this officiating tonight? What is this officiating tonight? So they're unsure who it was out on, so they're going to change the call from Detroit's ball to a jump ball, and they're going to put 24 seconds back on the clock. All right? Orlando picks up the loose ball, so it works out in their favor. Bane has it up top. Bane gets it over to Carter Jr. Carter Jr. gets it over to Banchero, being guarded by Duncan Robinson. Banchero isolating, coming to his left along the baseline. Pump fake, gets him up in the air, draws the foul. Gets it to go down too. Oh my goodness. Paolo putting his team on his back. What a first half performance from Paolo Banchero. 5:40 to go here. What a performance. MBM on the bingo card. It's technically a jump ball. Yeah, I'm going to give it to us. That works. Not the traditional way you normally get a jump ball, but that works. That's a secondary jump ball other than tip-off. He comes up short on the free throw, though. Thompson picks up the loose ball. Bane dives for it, saves it. And a timeout for Orlando. They get another possession. And Orlando's getting back into it. And now a lot of pushing and shoving again. Now we're getting feisty out here again. Jay said NBA has gotten very soft. I disagree. I think the officiating is just very uneven. Way too many fouls in this game in particular. Can't say the NBA has gotten soft when like every other series has been an absolute bloodbath. I mean, these series have been so physical. I'll tell you this, so the fracas started because Desmond Bane dove for the ball, Arshawn Thompson standing over him. After the official called the timeout, Bane tried to step up, tried to get up from off the floor, but Arshawn Thompson still standing over him. Now, that's a whole lot of nothing, but I'll tell you this, Mitchell Robinson got a technical for standing over a player in the Knicks series. I'm just saying. Corey said, I think I hear your TV. Do you? I'll lower it, you shouldn't. I literally can't lower it any more than that. It's on 1. Yak said technical coming soon. Might. I can lower my TV a little bit more doing this. All right. That's as low as I can get it. MBM said Bane is an antagonist. Spotty T said Knicks, Sixers, Raptors, Magic next round. Knicks, Sixers, Raptors, Magic would be an insane round. Would be an insane second round. Nobody would have had that on their bingo card, I'll tell you that. Eminem said Bane is an antagonist. Kind of. George Jones, chaos. Changes in life. What's up, changes in life? Come on, Magic. Not looking good. Not looking good, but not looking too bad. It could be worse. It could be much worse. I mean, Detroit has left a lot to be desired at the foul line here tonight, not taking full advantage of their opportunities. Nothing else incoming. No technicals, no nothing. No nothing. Paolo Banchero up to 20 points in this first half, though. 20 and 5. Simply Jet, what's up, Simply? Is Paolo getting a double-double? 20 and 5 in the first half? You're going to have to ask him if he's doing that, brother. I can't predict the future, but it's looking pretty good. It's looking solid. Carter Jr. with 0 points is not what I thought would happen tonight. But again, Orlando's not going to do much unless they get contributions from Carter Jr. and from Suggs, both with donuts up there. Desmond Bane chipping in with 7. There's been a lot of heavy lifting from Banchero, who's got half his team points. He's got 20 of their 41. They get it into Bane up top. Bane dancing with it against Harris, coming to his right, stops, crosses over to his left, step back, mid-range pull-up jumper. Can't get that one to go. Rebounded by Thompson. Thompson bringing it down the other way. Gets it over to Cunningham, bringing it down, up top. Being guarded by Anthony Black. Coming to his left off the screen, driving it down. Stops, turns, spins in the lane, puts up the floater, comes up short. Own rebound, gets blocked by Carter Jr., but fouled. He's going to the foul line for 2 more. My goodness. Yak said, Knicks would be highest rated with home advantage the rest of the way. Yeah, absolutely. I don't know what's going on. Where'd it go? Where'd my glasses cleaner go? Huh. Oh, it's in here. Christian Blake said, Duren better not go scoreless this quarter after a good 7-point start in like 2 minutes. So they clearly came out with like the mentality of we got to get Jalen Duren going. And as the game has gone on, they've forgotten to keep him going and keep feeding the big man the ball. Cunningham knocks down both free throws. And Banchero will bring it down. Has it up top, being guarded by Cunningham. Banchero driving to his left, stops, kicks it out. Desmond Bane, wide open right wing 3. You got to knock these down, and he does. Big time shot for Desmond Bane. Cuts it to 8. 44-52, under 5 to go. Beer battered Gummy Shark with a beer battered. Looks like the Pistons heard the criticism and took it personally. Yeah, they've had a lot of advantages tonight, but still only up by 8. Cunningham, a follow-away jumper, got it to go over Bane. Cade Cunningham hooping tonight as well, though. He's up to 16. He's going toe-to-toe with Banchero. The 2 stars going at it here tonight. Banchero, the step-back right wing 3, not another one. Way off on that one. Comes up well short. Rebounded by Thompson, bringing it down the other way. Shot out of a cannon, pushing the pace. Has it on the left wing, attacking. Stops along the baseline and pulls it back out. Gets it over to Duren. Duren trying to run the 2-man game with Cunningham. He can't get it to him. Good denial defense from Bane there. Duren up top, keeps it, gets it over to Harris in the post, being guarded by Suggs. He's got the size and strength advantage over him, just backing him down. Suggs flops, and Harris comes up short on the shot. Rebound right back to him. He puts up it again, and he gets it to go down. Suggs flopping for the foul. They didn't give it to him. With all the fouls they've handed out today, the fact they didn't give him that one is kind of crazy to me. But I get not giving the floppers the calls there. I do like that. But it's not been very consistent here tonight. Bane has it up top, being guarded by Harris. Bane dancing with it, gets it over to Banchero on the left wing, being guarded by Cunningham. Jab step to his left, down the lane, loses the handle, picks it up, kicks it out. Suggs a right corner 3. They need it, and they got it. They're knocking down threes, but they can't get stops. It's a 9-point game. Both teams in the bonus. Final 4 minutes of the frame. Cunningham up top, being guarded by Anthony Black. Cunningham coming to his left. Bane picks him up, step back, fall-away jumper again out of the mid-range, and he got it to go again. Cade Cunningham has the touch here tonight. He's up to 20 as well, I believe. Back to 11 it goes. They get it over to Carter Jr., wide open right corner 3. They need it, and they got it again. Back to 8 it goes. Again, they're getting scores, but they can't get stops. Both teams going back and forth. If you want to chip away at the lead, you gotta combine stops and scores. Cunningham up top, sees 2 defenders, gets it over to Harris, down the lane, inside the Thompson, in the paint, pulls it back out, picked up by Banchero. After that advantage creation, they don't get anything. They get over to Duren. Foul line jumper, well short, rebounded. Cunningham picks it up, gets fouled. He's going to the foul line for 2. Suggs just grabbed him. Suggs trying to argue he fouls him purposely to keep it on the floor. But Cade Cunningham with 20 points going to the foul line for a possible 22 points in the first half here. They're in the bonus anyway, even if it is on the floor. Ahmed, what's up, Ahmed? Marlon, what's up, Marlon? Marlon said, Nick's not going to lose any more games. The rest of the playoffs, it's a tall order to ask, but I'm rooting for it. Cunningham with 13 points in this quarter, by the way. Marcus Miller, what's up, Marcus? The Celtics-Sixers series is over tomorrow. Sheffy are not taking them easy anymore. It is over. It could be, brother. It could be. Beer Battered Gummy Shark said, looks like Pistons heard the criticisms and took it personally. I read that one already, but yeah, thinking a little personally. I mean, I wish they would take it a little bit more personally and put this Magic team out of the misery. I know the Magic are fighting extremely well tonight, but Pistons have all the advantages in the world here tonight specifically. No Franz Wagner, at home, came out with Jalen Duren getting it going early, still stuck on those 7 points. I think Christian said it earlier, still stuck on those 7 points, man. Scored 7 early points in the first 2 minutes of the game and has not been involved since. 7, 4, and 2 for Jalen Duren here tonight. Cade Cunningham knocks down the first one. But that 38-point quarter has saved them, man. That 38 first quarter has helped them immensely here tonight. Duren to the bench, Stewart back in. That's not good for the Magic, I'll tell you that. Not good at all. Jamal Cain also coming back in. Suggs, Bane, Banchero, Carter Jr., their core 4 without Franz. They're going to pull Bane out for Cain here. And Cunningham goes 2 for 2 from the foul line for 22 points in this first half. Not going to back up to a 10-point lead, 60-50, 2:50 to go here in this second quarter. Right before halftime, here comes Banchero bringing it down. Banchero up top, being guarded by Harris. Paolo Banchero is going to dance with it. Calling out a set. Coming to his left off a ghost screen from Suggs. Now coming to his right off a real screen from Carter Jr. They swing it out to Anthony Black, attacking to his right. Runs right into LeVert, and a foul on Karis LeVert will send Anthony Black to the foul line for 2 free throws. Anthony Black, 7 points right now, going to the foul line for a possible 2 more free throws. 2 rebounds, no assists for Anthony Black. We literally need him for 12, 3, and 3. Could be 3 steals, could be 3 rebounds. I guess technically could be 3 turnovers. Anthony Black misses a free throw, though. So many missed free throws tonight. But if you're Orlando and you're trailing like this and you're on the road missing your second best player, one of your 2 best players, you can't be missing your opportunities. You just can't. Anthony Black does rattle in the second free throw at least. 1 possession game. Cade Cunningham has it up top. Cunningham spinning to his right, going along the baseline, step back, baseline fall away, well contested. They call it a foul on the floor. They wave off the shot, but the official, what does it matter if you wave off the shot? He's got 2 free throws anyway. I'm going to tell you, this is a regular season officiating crew, man. They are not ready for prime time. Not ready for prime time at all. This is the worst officiated game I've seen in the playoffs so far. I will throw in the caveat that I did not watch any of the Oklahoma City Thunder, Phoenix Suns games in that series, but this has been a rough officiated game, man. All these little ticky-tack fouls. Are we in the playoffs or not? Is this the regular season or what? What are we doing, officials? What are we doing? Cunningham knocks down both free throws. He's up to 24 first half points. They get it into Jamal Cain. They get over to Banchero. Banchero will bring it down. Banchero up top, dancing with it. Crossing over to his left against LeVert. Euros down the lane, throws up the floater. Got it to go down for Paolo Banchero. He's trying to answer right back. He's up to 22. My goodness, back and forth these 2 stars go. Cunningham bringing it down, being guarded by Cain. Coming to his right up the Stewart screen, dancing around it. He's going to stop and pop for a 3. He's going to rattle it in. If you're Jamal Cain, you can't keep dancing under those screens like that from Stewart. You got to fight through them and force the officials to call a moving screen or something. You got to get a call there if you're Jamal Cain. Too passive on that possession. Cunningham makes him pay. They'll leave it off for Anthony Black. has it in the corner, picks up his handle, gets it out to Carter Jr., swings it over to Banchero, coming to his left. Banchero's going to dance with it. He's going to size up for a step back three. He's going to come up short, rebounded by All-Star Thompson. Here comes Cade Cunningham with a 12-point lead. Cunningham up top, being guarded by Kane. He's going to dance around a Stewart screen again, has it on the left wing, crosses over to his right, driving it down in the mid-range, another pull-up jumper. He's feeling it with the jumper, can't get it to go. And a foul on Jamal Cain. A foul on Jamal Cain after about 34 moving screens from Stewart. We're going to call a foul on Jamal Cain now, trying to fight through one of them. Nick Yak said, Raptors shooting 62%, 56% from three in the first, down 4 points somehow. That's not a good sign. Not a good sign at all. So the Pistons started 4 for 10 from the foul line, and since then they're 14 of 14. As Stewart misses one. Thanks for putting that graphic up, Amazon Prime. I'll tell you this, though. 28 or 24 free throws in the first half is disgusting officiating, man. There's going to be contact. These are two of the most physical teams, if not two, the two most physical teams in the NBA. You got to allow a little bit of contact. And they are calling every single little ticky-tack foul. We'll go through it at halftime, but it has been a pretty, this is a disgusting game to me. Like everybody's saying the Pistons and the Cavs game the other night was disgusting. This is a disgusting game. Suggs down the lane, draws the foul, he's going to the foul line for two. And this seems like a pretty obvious goaltend. So Stewart went up for a block shot, came up under the rim, and accidentally grabbed the rim. Maybe not accidentally, but grabbed the rim. It's a goaltend. 2 points for Suggs, a possible three-point play. That's for the bingo card as well. So we have a failed challenge, and now we have a jump ball, failed challenge. We have both of those up here. We haven't updated yet. Suggs misses a free throw, and a loose ball foul, and Stewart will give Carter Jr. 2 free throws now. And we also had Isaiah Stewart picks up a foul here. What was that? That is a goaltend, which is up here. We're very much on pace for player fouls out in this one as well. Let's go ahead and update it. We got a couple of things filling in here. Bingo card. Don't you want to update for me, big dog? There you go. Couple of things updated. Not what's up, not. Whole Magic team's going to be in foul trouble. Whole Magic team's already in foul trouble. Carter Jr. the foul line, hit the first one. He's got one more coming. Tay Cowboys, what's up, Tay? Johnson, what's up, Johnson? These refs are horrible, and they're not even hiding it. It's a rough officiated game, man. I hope we don't see this crew the remainder of the playoffs, I'll tell you that. Free throws this quarter, 13 for the Magic, 12 for the Pistons. 25 total free throw shot is a disgusting amount of free throw shot. I get that there's physicality. I get if we slow-mo every single play that we could find a foul to call, but that's every single play in basketball. It's a contact sport. Cunningham, rhythm dribble, can knock down the pull-up, fall-away jumper, rattles in and out. It was halfway down. I've let my timer take out. Anthony Black will dribble up for a pull-up three. He got it to go. Wow. What a shot for Anthony Black. Suddenly, it's a 6-point game. Wow. What a swing. A 7-0 run for Orlando. 30 seconds to go. They went 2 for 1 there. Thompson has it up top being chased by Suggs. Hands it off to Karis LeVert. Spins, breaks the defense down, gets it down low to Thompson. Reverse layup, can't get it to go. Got way too fancy with it. Excellently defended by Orlando. Thompson just made it more difficult than it needed to be. Over to Anthony Black. He just hit one. Another one. Comes up short on that one. And a loose ball foul, and Cade Cunningham is going to send Jamal Cain to the foul line for 2, and they can cut it to a 4-point game. After all of this, for Orlando to be this close back in the game, another foul on Cade Cunningham. That one just ran into Jamal Cain trying to keep him off the glass. My goodness. What an interesting game here tonight. What an interesting game here tonight. My goodness. Who would have thought it? Definitely had the feeling that Detroit was going to run away with this one. Kane can't get the friendly bounce, misses it badly off the back of the rim. Bounce straight up, couldn't get the friendly bounce, misses it. He's got one more free throw here. Duncan Robinson's going to sub in for the final offensive possession. George Jones said, can't miss your free throws. You can't miss your free throws, man. Too many missed free throws from both sides. Jamal Cain misses both free throws. Battle for the loose ball. Cunningham picks it up. They're bringing it down. 15 seconds on their shot clock. My timer ticked out, but I'll let you know how it goes. 12 seconds to go. Cunningham up top. 6-point game. One more defensive stop for the Magic here. Getting it to 6, going into half would be excellent. Duncan Robinson almost throws it away. He does throw it away. Suggs pick it up. They got more than enough time. He's rushing down the other end. He's going to stop and pop the Gonzaga 3. Off the back of the rim. Can't get it to go. If you know, you know. The Gonzaga pull-up 3 for Suggs doesn't go down. And that's going to end our halftime right there. Suggs had a little bit more time to dribble it closer, but I don't know why he decided to pull up 40 feet away from the basket. But it is what it is. Hit off the back rim, almost went down. I'll tell you this, 27 in the first half for Banchero. 27 in the first half for Cunningham, 22 in the first half for Banchero. And an insane game here from the two stars. Banchero filling up the stat sheet, 22, 5, and 4. Cunningham, 27, 4, and only 1 assist. I think this is a big area here for the Detroit Pistons. We talked about this in the first game when Orlando shocked Detroit. Cunningham put up like 30-something points. I think maybe he had 40, something like that. Very high scoring game from Cade Cunningham, but very low assist game in that one. And we talked about how the mentality and the defensive game plan of the Orlando Magic might have been to guard Cade Cunningham straight up, take away his playmaking, so his teammates aren't getting as many touches, and just make him into an isolation scorer, which he's capable of doing. He can put up a ton of points, but it is not what's best for this Pistons team. You are not going to lose going down to one guy going off and scoring, unless he scores 80-some-odd points, which I don't think Cade Cunningham is going to do tonight. But you were already behind the 8 ball, so you're going to need shot making. You're going to need guys stepping up in these roles. And Paolo Banchero with 22 is him stepping up in a role that he already had a ton of responsibility with, right? Anthony Black stepping up with 11 first half points is huge. You look over at some of these other guys, Harris with 10, Robinson with 4, Jalen Duren still with 7 after that early start in the first quarter. They haven't looked his way again. Stewart with 5, LeVert with 2. You can see not a ton of scoring going around. Tobias Harris with 10. A lot of that came at the foul line. We'll go through it now here. Markel Griffin, what's up, Markel? They need to put Duren, Stewart, Robinson, Cunningham, and Thompson. Duren, Stewart, Robinson, Cunningham, and Thompson. Double bigs with All-Star Thompson? I don't know if that lineup's going to work, brother. You think the spacing's bad now? You want to line up with 2 non-shooters, an extremely reluctant, up and down, inconsistent shooter in Stewart, 1 capable 3-point shooter in Duncan Robinson, and then Cade Cunningham to operate in that? I don't know, brother. Like, maybe depending if Orlando goes double bigs, but you're not going to be able to really score unless you're going to try and dominate the boards. But Simply said Cade easily getting 35. Yeah, I mean, I would think that they would rather the win than Cade simply getting 35. Like, 35 is cool, but BMR with the BMR. Yeah, the refs going to make sure Cade gets his. I mean, they're making sure everybody gets his with the way everybody's getting their own, the way they've been officiating this game. Let's take a look at it. We'll go through the box score in a second. Let's take a look at the team stats first, then we'll go through the box score. We'll check our bingo cards. But let's take a look at this first. Nick Yak said, who's dominating the boards? Let's go through it. Let's go through it. We'll get to it. Possession battle, almost entirely tied. 21 of 42 for the Pistons, 21 of 41 for the Magic. Both shooting about 50% from the field. Funny how that works. Orlando's knocked down 3 more threes. 8 for 16 from three-point line for 50% is pretty incredible. 5 for 12 for the Pistons. Really good percentage, but not a high volume. Markel said defense. Okay, man, but you also need the score. You need versatile lineups to do both. For spot minutes here and there, maybe depending on the lineups that Orlando has out there, but you can't put a unit out there that can't score, brother. You'd be putting a ton of pressure on Cade Cunningham to score. And maybe you could survive it for a couple of minutes. I get it. Maybe. I just don't know if I would trust that unit, especially with the way if Jalen Duren were playing better, I'd be like, yeah, try it. Go ahead, throw it out there. But Jalen Duren being a donut, being a nothing burger out there for y'all, that's not a lineup I'd go to. I'd rather just Stewart down low in the middle for me and move on from there. The free throw battle is the thing we have been keeping an eye on. It's starting to even out a little bit, but Detroit still with a decent advantage. 26 attempts, 19 attempts for Orlando. 10 for, but both of them pretty brutal. Orlando really brutal. 10 for 19, barely over 50%. Disgusting. The Flea said, I spoke to Delano yesterday. That man's in hiding for the rest of this series. Yeah, where's Delano, man? He loved coming into the chat and talking about it all season long. And then, fair weather fans out there, man. Fair weather fans. Anthony Serrano, what's up, Anthony? Go Orlando. They're trying, man. They're trying. Behind the 8 ball tonight, you got a more desperate team in Detroit. You got them at home in Detroit. And then you have your one of your top 2 players out in Franz Wagner and your main matchup for Cade Cunningham out. And yet somehow it's a 6-point game at halftime. Pretty incredible. Pretty incredible to me. It really is. 10 for 19 from the foul line is disgusting. 19 for 26 is bad. Most of it came in that first quarter. After that, they've been pretty solid for the most part. Orlando, brother, guys, you got to knock down some free throws, man. My goodness. Rebounding battle. Detroit dominating pretty soundly, up by 10 in the rebounding battle, 27-17, and we already checked the possession battle, about even. So this is really boiling down to a couple of the fact that Detroit turned it over a bit, so not as many rebounds available to Orlando, and also dominating the offensive glass, 10-4 for Detroit. We can go down to turnovers, which also is a very important, actually tied in turnovers. Where are all these rebounds coming from? If the turnovers are tied? Fast break points are tied. Points conceded off of turnovers are tied. Points in the paint pretty close, 24-26. Fouls, 16-12. Orlando's been called for 4 more fouls. Notice how I said called for, not committed. Largest lead of the game for Detroit was 17 points. It's a 6-point halftime lead here for Detroit. That's not great. It's not great. Considering you led by 17 at one point. They've led for the entirety of the game. It's been a wire-to-wire lead here for Detroit so far. We got 24 minutes left to go. It's been very close. Been a little chippy, but the officials have made sure that nothing else has gone on with the way they officiated it. Has not been a well-officiated game. Nikki said rebounds. Orlando needs to rebound. Yep. Detroit has dominated the boards here tonight. Andrew Brooks, what's up, Andrew? All right, let's take a look at the box score. In doing so, 3-point lead for Cleveland, by the way, over Toronto. You can see it up here. There you go. You can see it all the way up there. Let's take a look at our box scores as well as how it relates to our bingo cards here tonight. So we need Robinson for 3 threes. We're going to start with Orlando here. So Jamal Cain gets a start. He's got 4 points, hasn't taken a 3 yet. He's 2 for 5 from the foul line, though. Jamal Cain knocked down some free throws, buddy. Paolo Banchero not much better, 4 for 7 from the foul line. But he's carrying a hefty amount of responsibility tonight. 22 points, 5 boards, 4 assists, 2 turnovers, 2 steals for Paolo Banchero here tonight. 8 for 14 from the floor is really, really good with his efficiency as well. Wendell Carter Jr. with 5. You're going to need more out of him. And only 1 rebound for Carter Jr., by the way. Desmond Bane with 10. He's chipped in nicely. Suggs with only 5. They're going to need more from Suggs. 5 points, 3 assists, and only 1 steal for Jalen Suggs here tonight. Ozahar with the Ozahar. Markel said, okay, maybe I put Jenkins. No, I get what you mean with that lineup. I just think it's a rough lineup offensively, and you're seeing that unless you can continue to put pressure offensively in the playoffs here, the other team is going to eventually catch up. They'll knock down a couple of shots here and there. They're able to draw these fouls getting into the paint. If you pack the paint like that, it's going to be tough to keep up if they're slowly chipping away at the lead, which is why you kind of want to balance out there. Maybe Jenkins in that lineup for Thompson might work, right? To space it out a little bit more. He's a 3-point threat. Could be. He's not knocked down threes in this series, especially not the second half of the season. But just another ball handler could help just grease the wheels enough offensively, maybe. I know what you mean, Marco, where essentially you kind of want to see a double big lineup out there with Duren and Stewart. I just don't know. With the way Duren is playing in this series, I don't know if that's a lineup I'd even want to go to, just because he's just not been very effective, right? I wouldn't want to pack the paint any further for him, considering how much he struggled. Walking L said, I'm expecting Magic to be on fire during the third quarter. We'll see. They're already shooting 50% from 3. Low volume, but still. Where were we? Jalen Suggs with 5. Roger G-Wall with the Roger. Taking a break at work. Still close game. I mean, Detroit led by 17 at one point. It felt like Detroit was going to run away and blow this one open and send this back to Orlando with no Franz Wagner, having home court, desperation down 3-1. But Orlando continued to chip away at it, knocked down a big 3 at the end from Anthony Black, and now it's a 6-point game. So now it could go either way going into the second half. If we take a look here, we need Suggs for 2 more stocks. Could be blocks, could be steals. That's what stocks are. We haven't had a technical foul yet. We need Carter Jr. for 15. He's only got 5. I'm going to need more out of him, who is, he is 2 for 2 from the foul line. Okay. Cunningham for 30. He's 3 points away from it, so that seems like a lot. Duren for 20 doesn't seem great yet again, as it looked solid to start, and then they just never looked his way again after the first 2 or 3 minutes of the game. Any player for 3 blocks, we can take a look real quick. 2 blocks off the bench for Batase, and only 1 block off the bench for both Stewart and Duren. So not particularly close there, except for Batase. Maybe we can get it. Thompson for 3 stocks. We can take a look at his stocks game so far. We'll go through Detroit's box score as well as always. Thompson with only 1 steal tonight. Okay. Suggs 3 stocks will win through. Anthony Black with 12, 3, and 3 off the bench. He's got 11, so the points are almost there, but only 2 rebounds. You need 1 more of those, but 3 assists might not get there. I'll take steals. I'll take turnovers for that other 3 as well. But Roger said, thanks for getting me up to speed as always, brother. Appreciate you. Harris for 15 seems solid. He's got 10. Player fouls out seems solid with the way they're officiating tonight. Bane with 3. Tristan Da Silva with 3. Everybody else with either 2 or 1. Nobody in Orlando escaped without a foul. Everybody who's played has picked up a foul here tonight. It's been pretty gross. Pretty gross. As far as Detroit goes, the only guy who didn't pick up a foul was Javonte Green, who played 7 minutes. Played the least amount of minutes of anybody on Detroit. And didn't pick up a foul. Everybody else has at least 1 foul. Nobody over 2, so nobody necessarily in foul trouble. Just a very even distribution of fouls. So nobody too much in danger except for Bane and Da Silva. No flagrant fouls here tonight yet. Bane for 3 threes. He's got 2 of them. So he needs 1 more 3 there. Shot clock violation. We haven't had one. Mostly because if the shot clock's ever winding down, all you got to do is lean into your defender and they'll give you the whistle. And we haven't had a travel. Have we had a travel? We haven't had a travel. A couple of players lost their balance and just threw the ball away, but we haven't had a travel so far here tonight. So a couple of things still up for grabs here on the bingo card. Hopefully we can get bingo here tonight. By the way, this is an old bingo card. I pulled it from, I think this is either game 1 or game 2's. We had a bingo in one of these games between Orlando and Detroit, and I was like, all right, let's pull that bingo card back and see if it's just lucky for us. And so far, not really. Not particularly close in any area. Any play for 3 blocks seems possible. Player fouls out seems possible the way they're officiating. So I guess we can get this diagonal here. But outside of that, Cunningham for 30. Banchero for 30. Double is up for grabs. Triple-double likely not. But Banchero on pace, so who knows? We'll see. Not said what happens when we get bingo. I never been at bingo yet. We've had, I think maybe 5 or 6 bingos. Maybe 5 bingos. And we give memberships out to the community at the end of the night. SC, what's up, SC? Playoffs officiating has been terrible in all series. I disagree. Nobody's ever going to walk away from a basketball game and be like, that was a very well officiated game. Everybody's always going to be upset with the officials one way or the other. I haven't watched, and the one caveat is I didn't watch any of the Oklahoma City versus Phoenix Sun series. So I'm sure that series had some rough officiating because it's Oklahoma City and they're a poorly officiated team. They get the benefit of the doubt for everything. But I haven't watched a playoff game, and you can go check the catalog. We've watched as many playoff games as we possibly can. This is the first playoff game I watched where the officiating has completely taken over the game. It doesn't feel like the players are fully deciding the impact of this game. It's dictated the way players are able to play defense, which has allowed some players to have some free reign. Banchero, Cunningham, you can't touch those guys. And if you can't touch those guys, it's impossible to guard them. It's the first time the officials, I feel like, have imprinted their will onto this game, unfortunately. Essie, did you watch the last Lakers versus Rockets game? I did not. No Durant, no Reeves, no Doncic. Lakers up 3-0. I'm good on the rest of that series. I did not. So if that one was also poorly, well, the Lakers are also a very, like Oklahoma City, a very poorly officiated team where they do get the benefit of the doubt a lot. But like I said, you're gonna walk away from every game not feeling like the game is a well officiated game, because nobody's ever gonna walk away from a game and be like, yeah, the officials, they did an excellent job tonight. The most you want from the officials is to not really notice too much, right? And not feel like they're helping decide the outcome of the game. Tonight, it definitely feels like they're helping decide the outcome of this game, unfortunately. Just that LeBron was bad last game? Yeah, I mean, LeBron's 41. I'm more surprised when he plays well than when he plays bad. TT in the morning said Dylan Brooks got a foul for just breathing on OKC. Pretty much. All right, real quick. So we're going to come back after the halftime break here. Let's go through, just check out Toronto, Cleveland, locked in a tight one. You love to see it. Brandon Ingram with only 1 point. That's just not going to get it done, brother. He's only played 11 minutes tonight. Gee, I wonder why. Barnes with 14. He's hooping. RJ with 8. Not necessarily hooping. 1 for 4 from the foul line. Got to be better there, brother. But I'm sure he's playing well. He's a +7. Jacoby Walters knocked down 2 threes. That's great. Jakob Poeltl's 5 for 5. Cool. Scotty Barnes with 8 assists, by the way. My goodness. Mamukashvili off the bench. Jamal Shed off the bench playing well. Colin Murray-Boyles in 8 minutes. 2 points. -13. That's not great. SE said, I'm actually surprised how much LeBron has stepped up, but I guess it is LeBron. Know how old he is. He's 41. It's year 23 in the NBA for him. Came in when he was 18. Yeah, I mean, LeBron's awesome, but, he's 41. Like I said, I'm more surprised when he plays well at this point, or when he plays excellently. Not well, but when he, has an awesome game versus when he plays poorly. Because he's 41. I don't have expectations for that guy anymore. Here we go. We're back in the starting second half. Let's lock in. Orlando comes out with the ball. They get it in the corner to Carter Jr. They get it back to Banchero. Banchero and Cunningham going toe-to-toe in that first half. Banchero being guarded by Thompson, backing him down, leans in, throws up the floater, and he rattles it in. Just overwhelming All-Star Thompson there physically. And it's a 4-point game. Here we go. Jelly-O to Jelly-O. Scotty Barnes has been incredible this series. He's been, I agree. I got nothing else to add. He's been fantastic. Beautiful pass from Thompson. Great cut from Duncan Robinson. Backdoor on Desmond Bane. Gets the easy layup. And Banchero pushing it the other way. Has it in the paint against Harris. Hop step, pump fake, floater. Comes up short, rebound, knocked loose. Jamal Cain able to pick it up. Shovels it inside to Banchero down the lane. A lot of contact, no foul call. Now suddenly in the second half, it looks like the officials might start swallowing the whistle. Okay. Thompson's slow to get up. He's got a little limp to him. He seems okay, though. Maybe took a hard bump, a hard fall. Remain on the court, not looking to the bench. There's some contact there, but that looks clean from Cunningham. Happy they didn't give him the foul. SC said that Kane bang last game was so electric. That was insane. Now he's going to hobble off the court. He's going to go back to the locker room? He's got a heavy limp to him now. Thompson out of the game. That's not great for Detroit. They get it in the Banchero, and he gets fouled by Tobias Harris. He's going to the foul line for 2. Paolo Banchero is just, he's like, you're going to foul me. He's not going to go back to the locker room. All-Star Thompson walking the baseline now. That's what I see. That Kane dunk is one of the best dunks I've seen in a while. Like a true blue poster dunk. Sometimes you get guys kind of cowering away. Banchero knocks down the first free throw. Or like a flyby, half-hearted contest, doesn't want to get entirely dunked on, but they get the hand in there to try and block it. That was true chest to chest, I'm going through you type dunk. To me, that was better than the Anthony Edwards dunk over John Collins. And that was an incredible dunk. Banchero misses the second free throw, though. Brother, you can't be missing free throws in a game like this. How many more missed free throws? That's their 10th missed free throw, and we just started in the second half. Cunningham has it up top. Carter Jr. switches on to him. They get over to Robinson, being chased by Bane. They get it back to Carter Jr. Back to Cunningham, being guarded by Carter Jr. They swing it out in the corner to Levert, gets it over to Robinson. Robinson in the right wing, gets it up top to Cunningham. Shot clock winding down, coming to his right. A deep pull-up 3, and he got it to go. Cade Cunningham continues his miraculous shooting here tonight. He's been phenomenal. He's had the touch. It's an 8-point lead for Detroit now. And they hand it off to Bane, looking for an answer. Has it on the left wing, being guarded by Cunningham. They get it up top to Banchero. That's Cunningham for 30 points, by the way, which is up on the bingo card. Banchero dancing with it, coming to his right, pump fake. Beautiful cross-court pass in the corner to Suggs. Kicks it out to Carter Jr. Extra pass to Bane, pump fake, sidestep, wide open 3 for him. He got it. He needed it. He needed it. Got those 3 points right back. It was a huge three from Cunningham. Bane takes it right back. Anything you can do, I can do better type offense. Here comes Cunningham on the right wing, crossing over to his left, down the lane, in the paint, hop step, and that's a travel on Cade Cunningham, taking an extra step after the hop step, and that's also up on the bingo card, and Orlando will take over and bring the ball down. So that's Cunningham for 30. That's there, and that is also a travel down there. So Orlando bringing it down. Banchero has it up top. They kick it out to Suggs. Suggs, left wing three. Got it to go for Jalen Suggs. Back-to-back threes cut to the 2. This is the closest they've been since the opening minutes of the game. Duren has it on the right wing. He's been quiet since the opening minutes of the game. Cunningham gets it up top to Harris. He'll fire away the straightaway three. He'll miss it. And that's a foul on Jalen Duren. And Duren is upset. Can't believe it. Frustrated at the officiating. I get it, Jalen Duren. But my goodness, brother, you got to do something here tonight, big dog. Jalen Suggs, Desmond Bane coming up huge here. It's a 2-point game. I can't believe it, the way the game started. I really can't believe Orlando still hanging around. Detroit may just not have it in them to hang around in this series, hang around in the playoffs. Banchero dancing with it, coming to his right, stops, turns, spins, caught in the air, kicks it out to Kane, pass fake, Kane taking the baseline. Delayed floater, can't get it to go over Duren. Jamal Kane hesitant too much there. Here comes LeVert bringing it down, picked up by Banchero. Crossing over to his left, gets it over to Harris. Harris, pump fake, has it on the left wing. Pump fake, jab step, driving to his right, along the baseline, goes up, gets blocked by Wendell Carter Jr., a lot of contact, no foul call. Banchero picks it up, he's bringing it down. Banchero going right through the defense, scoop layup, can't get it to go down. Great defense by the Pistons to defend it well. Harris goes down, he may be hurt. Here comes Cunningham, bump, Euro, lefty left, can't get it to go. Duren picks up the loose ball after the block, flips it up with the right hand, can't get it to go, no foul call. Quick outlet to Kane, Kane bringing it down. Kane has it on the left wing, they want to get it to Banchero, they leave it off for Bane. Bane gets it over to Suggs, he's going to pump fake, drives it down, kicks it out, Carter Jr., wide open right wing three for the lead. Off the back rim, can't get it to go. Skying for the rebound, battle for the loose ball, knocked out of bounds. It's going back to the Pistons. What a helter-skelter moment there in this game from both sides. You gotta love it. Both sides battling. Harris comes up with a slight limp. He's gonna remain in the game. He's not looking to the bench. He's actually waving to the bench saying, I'm good, I'm fine, don't sub me out. Detroit said they can't pay Duren big money after this series. He's lost himself a lot of money for sure. But I tell you this, they also can't let him walk. Can't get on his bad side. We'll see. See what the negotiations are like. Is he going to ask for the sky and the moon and the stars? But, because if he does, how do you tell him no? How do you tell him no? You're going to let him enter restricted free agency? They get it over to LeVert, left corner three. He's open. He can't get it to go down. Bane the rebound. It's a 2-point game. Here comes Desmond Bane. Desmond Bane pushing the pace. A lot of momentum swinging towards Orlando right now. They hand it off to Carter Jr. They hand it off to Suggs. He swings through to his right off the handoff. Gets caught in the air. Kicks out to Bane. Bane's going to set and fire the straightaway three off the back rim. Long rebound. LeVert knocks it over to Duren. And here come the Pistons bringing it down the other way. 2-point game. Under 8 to go. Under 8 to go. LeVert up top being guarded by Suggs. Hands it off to Harris. Pump fakes coming to his left. Driving it down against Banchero. Little pull-up jumper in the paint. Got it to go. Nice, calm, cool, and collected from the veteran there, getting them a 2-point basket. Banchero has it up top. Coming to his right. Hesitation dribble, being guarded by Harris. Swings it over to Suggs. He's going to pump fake against LeVert. Swings through to his right, trying to drive it down. A lot of contact, draws the foul. And they're going to say foul on the floor, no shot. SC said he's such a big piece of Detroit's team, they can't really afford to lose him. They can't. I also would say that they can't really afford to get on his bad side. Either, right, during negotiations, which can happen. It could hurt the chemistry of the team. It could hurt the relationship between the player and the front office. We'll see. We'll see what he asks for. We'll see. Maybe he's not asking for the max. Maybe he recognizes that, hey, I had a bad playoff series. I got something to prove. Who knows? Who knows what's going to happen? He's going to be restricted anyway, so I don't think he's going anywhere anytime soon. Loose ball, knocked out of bounds. It's going to go back to Detroit here. Banchero trying to draw the foul there. They don't give it to him. Yak said, how much do top centers get? It's not really about top centers. It's like stars because he's likely to make the All-NBA team. We'll see when that's announced. He'll be eligible for a max contract, which everybody is obviously and very clearly saying you can't give Jalen Duren a max contract, especially after the series. Beautiful ball move from the Pistons. Ends up with a wide open corner three from Duncan Robinson off a broken play, and he knocks it down. Big time shot for Duncan Robinson. Gets the lead back up to 7. It was close. It was close. Suggs, in and out dribble, down the paint, kicks it out, Black, extra pass, swings it out. Banchero, left wing three, can't even to go. Cade Cunningham knocks three, but out of bounds. Suggs was battling for it too. It's going to stay here with Orlando. We're going to get a timeout first. Detroit boys said absolutely not. Absolutely not. Maybe we can look that up. What is Jalen Duren possibly eligible for? Jalen Duren, possible extension. He's going to be a restricted free agent this summer, so he's not going anywhere. He's going to remain with the Pistons. He's not going anywhere. Restricted. Restricted players don't go anywhere. So if he makes the All-NBA team, he could be worth. He could sign a contract up to $287 million per year, right? 5 years. If he doesn't make the All-NBA team, it's still $240 for around $40 million a year, whereas the supermax contract is around $50 million a year. So he's going to lose about $10 million a year if he makes the All-NBA team versus he misses it. But again, do you want to sign this player to $250 million for 5 years for a guy who's coming up small in a first-round playoff series? Right? That is the question. That is the question. Markel said I wouldn't trade him at all. I don't even think they're going to entertain trading him. I think they're just going to appropriately weigh their options here and decide how they're going to move forward. And we'll keep it moving from there. I think that it'll come down to whether or not he makes the All-NBA team and whether or not he and his camp will ask for the max. Because remember, he did make the All-Star team. He was awesome during the regular season. But Nick Yak said Hartenstein got $30 million. He did, but it was only 2 years. It was only 2 guaranteed years. So that's why they were fine giving him $30 million a year. Rob P, what's up, Rob? Raptors on a tear without Ingram. Out with a heel injury. Oh, that's why he only played that little. Gotcha. I did see he was scoreless. So we are at a timeout break here. So let's go take a look at that game again. Yeah, there goes Toronto, man. There goes Toronto. Big game in Cleveland, and Cleveland not showing up. James Harden is showing up, actually. He's got 19. Donovan Mitchell, he's got 11. The Bigs struggling yet again. 7 points for Mobley, 3 points for Jared Allen. Of course the Bigs are struggling. You're not going to go anywhere with those two paired together. It's just not working. Toronto is working, though. R.J. Barrett up to 13, Scotty Barnes up to 14, Jakob Poeltl 10, Jacoby Walter 17. Jacoby Walter finally knocking down shots, man. He was 0 for the last 2 games they played. Tonight, 5 for 8 from 3. And this is why you don't mess around in a playoff series. You never know when a guy's going to get hot. You never know. Markel said, I'll give him the 5 years. Detroit boy said, next to Thompson, that would be a disaster. Same problem. Sign a trade to LA for Austin. To LA for Austin Reeves. Duren for Austin Reeves. And then I guess you have Stewart as your starting center. I think you could. I think Duren is worth more than Austin Reeves, brother. Austin Reeves, like 27, 20 years old. Carter Jr. draws a foul on Duren, by the way. He's going to the foul line for 2. You could get more for Jalen Duren than Austin Reeves, big dog. And you could get probably like 80% of Austin Reeves and Tyler Hero, who seems like he'll be available. D said, Tobias, hit a 3, please. Tobias he's been solid in the mid-range, but he can't knock down threes. Can't knock down threes in this series, man. Carter Jr. at the foul line for 2. They have been miserable from the foul line. He does knock down the first one. He's got another one coming. Paolo Banchero remains out there with 25 points. Desmond Bane with 13. Anthony Black subs in with 11. Suggs now up to 8. Knocking down 2 threes tonight. Detroit said, got to get another center. I mean, you have Stewart. Stewart could be your starting center. I know he's had some injury problems throughout his career, but Stewart's awesome. He had 8 blocks last game. Honestly, I think he could be a Defensive Player of the Year candidate. I think he can make the all-defensive team if he played starters minutes. Carter Jr. knocks down both free throws. 5-point game, 76-71. Here comes Detroit bringing it down. A full court press here from the Magic. And Harris gets it over to Jenkins. No Cade Cunningham out on the court, trying to turn over the Pistons here. Harris has it up top, being guarded by Banchero. Over to Stewart, back to Harris. Harris dancing around the screen. Carter Jr. switches onto him. Harris is going to dance with it, loses the handle, pulls it all the way back out. Shot clock winding down. He has it about a half-court line. He's going to drive it down against Carter Jr., puts up the floater off glass, can't get it to go. Anthony Black comes skying in for the rebound. There you go, Black. Here comes Anthony Black, who has it up top, being guarded by LeVert. Lobs it down low to Banchero, and a horrific pass from Anthony Black. Horrific pass. Soars it right over his head, and I think Banchero turns to him, and he's like, come on. Can't throw that pass in that scenario there. Here we go. We're at the halfway point of this third quarter. It's a 5-point game. Duncan Robinson trying to curl off a Stewart screen, and they call a foul on Bane. 4 fouls on Bane now. All-Star Thompson comes back out of the tunnel. He gives the coaching staff a thumbs up. So he seems all right. Probably got the ankle retaped. Bane subs out with the 4 fouls. Troy said, so you can keep Duren and Thompson and start them both? I think you can if they start to develop more basketball skills. They are young. I'm not confident that Thompson will develop those perimeter skills that you need. But I am confident that Duren can develop a little mid-range shot and become just a more dominant presence and not get taken out of a series like this. He's still only 22 years old, but yeah, you're not confident in that. Yeah, I mean, these are, as Danish Jenkins does a great job manipulating his way off a handoff, getting into the paint for a scoop layup with the right hand. I mean, look, the series not over yet. So, these are a lot of off-season questions. You still got one more loss you got. Suggs, quick catch and fire from 3, can't get it to go. Harris with the rebound. Here comes Jenkins. A lot of momentum now pointing towards the Pistons as they're up by 7. Suggs does a good job jumping the passing lane, knocking the ball out of bounds. SC said, Bane gets called for everything? Yeah. I mean, Bane is a little dirty, so I'm sure he's doing a lot of holding and grabbing and pushing and shoving and elbowing and whatnot. But, yeah, a lot of ticky-tack fouls he's got hit with tonight. Christian Blake said, when the Carter Jr. has 3 blocks, he did. I think he does, because he did have 2 blocks. He had 2 blocks on 1 possession. Cunningham and Thompson sub back in here. Detroit said, I've been having these discussions all season. Well, you're not trading Duren. You're just not a 22-year-old who just coming off a career season. You're going to take your chances with that. You just are, at least for another season or 2, before you decide to move on from him. I mean, the co-contract thing is interesting, but Cunningham has it up top, being guarded by Suggs, pulls it out. Cade Cunningham dancing with it, coming to his left. Carter Jr. picks his pocket, and he steals it away, tries to get over to Suggs, loose ball. Suggs dives for it, saves it over to Banchero. Banchero bring it down, and he throws it away. Paolo, what are you doing? Attack the basket. Paolo Banchero, brother. And they turn it over again. I wasn't even paying attention because I was too busy, distraught over that turnover. But then the Pistons turn it right back over, and Banchero has it on the left wing, crosses over to his left, Euros past Harris, scoop play with the right hand, got it to go down. And Tobias Harris looked a little frustrated, looking for some help from his teammates on that drive there. SC said, I'm tired of Suggs. He only shoots 3s and shoots like 30% at best. Yeah, he doesn't have a great handle, and he doesn't have a great finishing package. You're right about that. Really, his best attribute is shooting 3s, and he's not very good at that either. Harris has it up top, being guarded by Carter Jr. in the switch, attacking to his left, mid-range pull-up jumper over him. Got it to go for Tobias Harris. That mid-range jumper has been true, man. It's been true all series long. It's been a go-to. Banchero has it up top. Dancing with it. Swings it over to De Silva. Pump fakes. Picks up his handle. Gets it over to Carter Jr., being guarded by Stewart. Hands it off to Anthony Black, coming to his right. Down the lane, loses the ball. Thompson picks it up, pushing it the other way. It's a 3-on-1 fast break. Thompson leaves it off for Harris, a 2-handed slam out on the break, and it's back to 9 and a timeout for Orlando. And some reckless play from Orlando there, some reckless offense, some bad turnovers. Markel said, Detroit Lions gave up Matthew Stafford, and he won the Super Bowl. I will keep all of them. Detroit family, Detroit, we win again. I mean, different sport, but yeah, different sport. There's only 5 players on the court for your team at a time in the NBA. BMR said AR-15 is nothing without the favorable whistle he gets as a Laker. I tend to agree. D said Tobias hit a dang 3. Hasn't hit a 3 yet tonight. Big Dog, wish I could read your name, brother. He said Suggs' best attribute is his motor. Yeah, it's his motor, it's his tenacity, it's his defense, it's his hawking ball pressure, all of those things. Talking about offense, though. His best attribute offensively is the fact that he could knock down a 3 But the problem is that he's not a very consistent three-point shooter. His handle is suspect. His passing game is wild and reckless. His driving game is unpolished. He doesn't really have an in-between game. Doesn't have a mid-range shot. Doesn't have a floater in his repertoire that he can consistently go to. So, Mark, and he said Harris 16 points as well. There we go. Let's pull that up. Let's edit our bingo card. You're right. So we have Harris for 15. We have any player for 3 blocks. That is Wendell Carter Jr. Picked up 2 blocks in 1 possession. We're on our way, y'all. We need just a player to foul out Desmond Bane. What you got for us? Bane has 3 threes. You're right. Bane has 3 threes. Where is Bane 3 threes? Where's Bane? Oh, down here. There we go. All right, we're starting to fill in our bingo card now. As the game goes on, we're starting to fill it in. Payne has 3 threes. Harris has 15. Thompson has how many stocks, y'all? All-Star Thompson. 3 steals and a block for All-Star Thompson. Got Thompson for 3 stocks as well. Surprised we haven't had a technical foul. We're 1 away from bingo. We're 1 away from bingo now. Hold on, check this out. We're filling it in now. Check this out. Dang! 4 squares filled in. We could have this diagonal here. All we need is a player to foul out. And we got bingo that way. We could have, obviously, this column here. All we need is a technical foul. Duren for 20 doesn't seem likely. Banchero for 30 seems pretty likely, though. Big Papa Bangs. What's up, Bangs? I need Carter to grab 4 more boards. How does he only have 2? Yeah, not helping out on the boards as much as you need him to here tonight. Rose, what's up, Rose? Great game from Rose. Rob P said Bane's going to foul out and get attacked. Probably. That'll help out a lot. That'd be 2 spots right there. What else are we close to? Not a ton. Shot clock violation could also help, considering player fouls out is getting there. Double, and then Banchero for 30, but then we need Duren for 20. It's rough. Duren for 20. He's yet to score after the first opening minutes of the first quarter. Opening minutes of the game, Jalen Duren went crazy, and we haven't heard from him since, man. Joe said, you're only covering 1 game tonight. Yes, we're only covering the 1 game tonight. The late game being the Lakers game. Again, I said it earlier, I'm not too interested. After the Lakers went up 3-0, I was like, cool, I'm done. I don't particularly care to cover that series in depth at this point. If it goes any further, maybe we will. But as of right now, we're going to stick with, I think, the more intriguing series. I wish we could cover this game and the other East game, but as of right now, both of them going on at the same time. Anthony Black steps behind the 3-point line in the left corner, knocks it down. Back to a 6-point game it goes. Big-time shot from Anthony Black. Him knocking down threes is a huge opener here for this Magic team that we know needs guys to step up. He's got 14 points tonight on 3 for 4 from 3-point range. They get it to Cunningham, spins off of Kane, going along the baseline, draws the foul, he's going to the foul line for 2, and claps in the direction of Anthony Black. Okay, Cade, I see you, brother, getting into it. Chi-Chi, what's up, Chi-Chi? Hopefully Brunson keeps that momentum going from last night. We haven't seen that much this season. If he does, it's a wrap. Knicks all the way. We have seen that plenty this season, brother. The whole season? Yeah, we've seen that a ton from Jalen Brunson this season. We haven't seen it much in this playoff series. But we talked about it in the opening minutes of the game. They switched the matchup. They took Dyson Daniels off of him, but Alexander Walker on him. And we said it from the beginning, that could free up Jalen Brunson because that's a much better matchup for Brunson. And it did indeed. And he got going. Cade Cunningham goes 2-2 from the foul line. Detroit, after a slow start from the foul line, have started to knock down their free throws. Here comes Paolo Banchero bringing it down. It is back to an 8-point game. We got 3 minutes to go, just over 3 minutes to go. Banchero dancing with it up top, coming to his left, dancing with it against Green. Banchero crosses over to his right. Driving it down, half spin, flips it up with a little hook shot, can't get it to go off glass, battle for the rebound, knocked loose, picked up by All-Star Thompson. He's off and running, shot out of a cannon, bringing it down the other way, hesitation move, leaves it up top. Cade Cunningham catches, fires, got it to go for Cade. And he is ensuring his team is walking out of here with a W. He's got 32 points so far. Banchero driving it the other way, draws a foul. He's going to the foul line for 2 free throws. I believe that's a foul on Stewart there. Should be 3 fouls, I think. And it'll send Banchero to the foul line for 2. Nick Yak said, Raptors shooting 64% and 59% threes at halftime with 21 assists is smoking. Yeah, for a team that hasn't shot well all series long, except for game 2, I guess, right? They are leading by 7 at halftime still. You can't see the score, but leading by 7 at halftime still. That's still halftime? It was halftime when we checked it at our halftime, it felt like. It is still halftime. 74 first half points for the Pistons, kind of crazy. We got 76 points for Orlando here as Banchero misses another free throw. This is a disgusting free throw shooting from Orlando. It started with Detroit, it permeated over to Orlando, and it hasn't left Orlando. Detroit has cleaned up their free throw shooting game. Orlando has been disgusting from the foul line here tonight. My goodness. He misses 2. It is not in the cards for Orlando to win tonight, I'll tell you that. The free throws not going down is always a bad sign. You always lose those games. Very hard to win a game in which you miss 10-plus free throws. Danish Jenkins in the corner. Javonte Green, quick catch and fire from 3. Can't get it to go. Battle for the rebound. Thompson able to grab that offensive rebound. They can't get out to Danish Jenkins up top. Swings through to his left. Across the lane. Steps back. Dancing with it over to Green. Another catch and fire from 3. Well short. Can't get it to go. Rebounded by Kane. Tries to get it to Banchero. Thompson dives on the floor. And he was out of bounds when he stole it. And the ball is going to stay here with Orlando. Or go back to Orlando, I should say. Spotty T said Styles makes fights. Most of the time, yep. Markel said, Detroit winning the next 2 games. They could, especially with this Franz Wagner situation, man. You'd be disappointed if they didn't. You'd be disappointed if they didn't. I know you're still down 3-1, and it's unlikely, and it hasn't happened a ton, teams to come back down 3-1, but Orlando is already a team that struggles offensively. To miss Franz Wagner is a huge blow. Detroit should be able to find a way to win these next 3 games. A pull-up jumper from Anthony Black. He rattles it in. Wow. Anthony Black's jump shooting tonight has really come around when they needed it most. 9-point game. Still within striking distance, though. Detroit can't fully pull away. Cunningham up top, coming to his left, dancing with it against Bataze. Now he's going to just isolate, step back 3 over Bataze. They're daring him to shoot, but he's been knocking down all game long. He misses that one, though. Banchero the rebound. Quick outlet to De Silva. He'll line up a left wing 3. Well contested over Cunningham. Can't get it to go. Battle for the loose ball rebound. Picked up by Green. Here comes Thompson off the kick out. Driving it down. He's going to pull it back out. Thompson has it up top. Hands it off to Cunningham. Coming to his right up the handoff. Spinning to his left. Banchero picks him up. Cunningham's going to isolate. Crossover to his right. Down the lane. Leans in. Kicks it out to Jenkins. Pump fake. Sidestep. Puts up the 3. Jenkins can't get it to go. Stewart knocks the rebound all the way out of bounds, though. Cunningham couldn't get to it. It's going to go back to Orlando. They catch a bit of a break there. MBM said it was going to be hard to win in Detroit, but missing free throws doesn't help. Nope, not at all. At the end of the quarter here, we got a minute to go. Bane will check back in for the final minute with the 4 fouls. We'll check the free throw shooting, man. It's bad. It was like 52% at halftime. Banchero gets it into Anthony Black. Black up top, coming to his right, off the Bataze screen, picks up his handle, gets it over to Banchero, being guarded by Thompson. Jab step, coming to his left. Thompson takes a fall. They kick it out. Kane, left wing 3. He's open. Can't get it to go. Battle on the glass for the rebound. Knocked into the air. Thompson picks it up. They get over to Cunningham. Cunningham bringing it down. 40 seconds to go. Cunningham on the right wing. Driving it down against Kane. Pulling his way to the basket. Gets swatted out of there by Bataze. And there's a goaltend on Goga Bataze. 2 points for Cade Cunningham. $37 points for Cade Cunningham here tonight. 10 points in this quarter. Here comes Anthony Black bringing it down. Anthony Black up top. Gets it over to Bataze. Bataze being guarded by Stewart. Gets it over to Banchero. Banchero being guarded by All-Star Thompson. Driving to his right. Trying to blow past him. Down the lane. Loses the handle on the ball. Out of bounds. It's going to stay here with Orlando. 20 seconds to go on the clock. Anthony Black gets it into Jamal Kane, tries to throw it down over Cunningham, and a foul. Jamal Kane, man. I didn't know he had springs in his legs like that. That's the second time Obviously had the poster dunk over Duren the other night. This time trying to get a poster dunk over Cade Cunningham, sneaking behind him on the inbound. Cunningham just falling asleep. So Kane will be at the foul line for 2. The Magic were trying to argue that it should have been a goaltend or basket interference. It isn't. So Jamal Cain misses the first free throw, though. Why would I have expected anything else? Joe said, actually, of those 3 guys, who do you say is the best defender? Bataze, Wemby, or Thompson? Wemby, brother. Jamal Cain misses the first free throw. My goodness. How many missed free throws? When we get to the end of this quarter, we're going to make all things even. Kane does knock down the second free throw. It's a 10-point game. We'll pretend we'll live in a fantasy world where both teams made all of their free throws and see what the score should be. Cunningham has it up top. I got a sneaky suspicion that I think Orlando might end up with the lead, but it's going to be close. Cunningham off the screen, kicks it over to Devontae Green, a 3 at the buzzer. Too strong, can't get it to go. Anthony Black the rebound. A full court baseball heave, can't get it to go, not very close, and that'll be the end of the third. And I was going to say first half, but it's the end of the third quarter. We got 12 minutes up on the clock, 89-79, 10-point lead for Detroit, made the best team win. Let's take a look at it. Let's do some quick math. BMR said free throws killed the Magic tonight along with untimely bricks. But let's see. Let's go back to the team stats. Let's check out the free throw shooting. They're still shooting 52% from the foul line. That's horrendous. They are 14 of 27. They missed 13 free throws. Detroit is 21 of 28. That's not great either, but that's passable. It's not good. It's not good, but it's passable. 21 of 28. They've missed 7. 14 of 27. They missed 13. Let's call all things even. They made 7. They made 13. That's a 6-point differential. Detroit would be leading by 4 points. We give 14 to Orlando. That gives them 93. We give 7 points over to Detroit. That gives them 96. So it'd be a 3-point lead. Or 6-point lead. I did math poorly. A 6-point lead. So Detroit would still be leading by 6. It's a 4-point differential. But 13 missed free throws is 13 missed free throws, fellas. The 3-point shooting's even going your way. You've made 11 to Detroit's 8. You're getting a good shooting game from Anthony Black. 27 attempts to 30, 27 makes to 30 makes. Not even behind the 8 ball that much. It's a 10-point game. It's a 10-point game. But Detroit's at home. They got Cade Cunningham hooping. Cade Cunningham up tonight. 37 points. What is he shooting? A blistering 11 for 19 from the floor and 5% from 3 and 10 for 10 from the foul line. The star is knocking down his free throws. Everybody else can miss free throws. That's fine, but your star needs to knock them down because he's getting to the foul line the most. You look over at the Orlando Magic, and Paolo Banchero's 5 for 11. That's 6 points right there. It should be a 4-point game. Paolo should at least knock down his free throws. Jamal Cain's going to miss them. Wendell Carter Jr. missed them. That's fine. Suggs is 0 for 1. That's fine. Everybody else missed them. Can't be your star player missing them, man. Can't. Christian Play said Anthony Black hit his square, by the way. He did. Did he? Anthony Black we need 12, 3, and 3. Anthony Black has, off the bench, 16, 4, and 3 turnovers. I'll take it. I'll take the 3 turnovers. I don't specify in the 12, 3, and 3, so I'll take the 3 turnovers. Curtis Painter, what's up, Curtis? Mitch is shooting better than that at the moment. Is he? Is Mitch shooting better than the 52% from the foul line? I don't think he is. But it's close, and you don't want to be close to Mitch in that regard. MBM said, hit the like button and subscribe. Appreciate you, MBM. Reminding people to the like button. If you guys are enjoying the show so far, remember to hit that thumbs up button and like the stream. It very much helps. It really does. Really does. We have the Anthony Black square up here. It's the first one in this column. Gigi said, Magic only scored 19 points in the quarter. Game should be closer. Let's take a look. Good point. Raptors are up by 4 here, unless that's behind. We're going to start the fourth quarter in a second here. Yeah, so they scored 19 points after the Magic scored 34 points in that second quarter, so that was a big second quarter there. We're going to see what we got in the fourth quarter here. Detroit's got a 10-point lead. You're at home. Season on the line. You better not lose this one, Detroit. You better not lose this one. Thompson going all the way to the basket for the scoop layup. Got it to go. It's one way to start it. Nice energy in the building. Nice momentum build there to start the quarter. Cunningham starts the quarter. Banchero starts it on the bench. Anthony Black has it up top. They try to get it to Bane. They do. He's being chased by Thompson. Bane coming to his right off the Batase screen. Bane pump fakes. Picks up his handle. Gets it over to Black. Back to Bane. Bane being guarded by Stewart. Bane, a deep pull-up three by the logo. Can't get it to go. Battle for the rebound. Batase had it. Lost it. Picked up by Thompson. And here comes All-Star Thompson bringing it down. Up top. Lobs it over the top to Stewart. Catches it. Gets stripped. Suggs bringing it down the other way, leaves it off for Bane. Bane blowing past the defense, leans in, kicks it out to Anthony Black, gets it up top to Suggs. He'll take the lane in the paint, throws up the floater, got it to go. They're going to need a lot more from Jalen Suggs, man. You need a lot more from Jalen Suggs. 8 points for Jalen Suggs tonight is just not getting it done. It's just not. 3 for 6 from the field, 6 attempts is not getting it done. You got no Franz Wagner out there. Cade Cunningham driving it down, kicks it out to Javonte Green, a left wing 3 for him. He got it to go. There you go, Javonte Green. They needed it. 13-point lead. Suggs driving it down. Stops, turns, spins. Out to Kane. Extra pass to Bane. And Bane was on the sideline. Ball back to the Pistons. Momentum shifting here for Detroit. Game 5. Down 3-2 at home. 10-point lead going into the fourth. Starting to pull away a little bit here. 13-point lead off that made 3. Chichi said, is Wagner playing tonight? No Franz Wagner, Chichi. No Franz Wagner with the calf strain. They get it over to Thompson. Thompson up top. Swings it over to Duncan Robinson. Breaks free. Wide open 3. Got it to go for Duncan Robinson. 16-point lead now for Detroit. And that feels a little bit like a nail for an Orlando team that really struggles to score. Batase gets hit with an offensive foul using the off arm to fend off of Isaiah Stewart there. Ball back to Detroit. Desmond Bane looking at his teammates like, calm it down. We're all right. We're all right. We're going to chip away at it. We're going to try and steal this one here in Detroit and end the series. It's probably not going to happen, but you got to continue to build confidence here. Batase had really one nice game. I think it was game 3 that we watched, and it was a really nice game from him. Outside of that, he's been pretty disastrous. Tristan said, I think that's 3 threes for Robinson. Yeah, he had 2 in the first half. I think that's his third one. We'll take a look at it in a second. Anthony Black comes up with a steal, turnover on Cunningham, hit ahead to Banchero. Banchero shot out of a cannon, going out of the rim, lefty layup, got it to go on the break there. Nice drive and finish for Paolo Banchero. The crowd quietly sits back into their seats after the Pistons finally get on the board. The Magic finally get on the board. Cunningham up top being guarded by Black. Cunningham dancing with it, coming to his right. He's going to stop and pop for a 3. He's going to miss it. Rebounded by Carter Jr., who's back in the game for Batase, by the way. And they get it over to Banchero, pushing the pace. Banchero over to Suggs, left corner 3, quick catch and fire and shoot. Can't get it to go. Anthony Black battling for the rebound, able to sneak it out there to Banchero. Banchero gets it over to Anthony Black. He's been on fire from 3 tonight. He keeps the party going, knocking it down. It's back to 11. Not going out without a fight. And a timeout for Detroit. Not going out without a fight. MEM said we should get a tech soon. They should. They should. I wouldn't mind it to see Detroit get up a tech. Want this game as close as possible. I don't really care who wins. Guess I'd prefer Orlando just because I think it'd be hilarious to see Detroit as a 1 seed go down. But yeah. BMR said, it's over. They better show up at home or they're going to be in trouble. I don't know. I don't know if it's over. I don't know. Jericho Johnson, what's up, Jericho? In all your time calling games and playing bingo, did you ever hit every square or what they call a bingo card blackout? No. My mentality when making the bingo cards, because clearly I make all these myself, my mentality when filling in the squares is that it's highly, highly, highly unlikely that we will hit all the squares, right? When you take a look at it, like it's unlikely that Cade will go off for 30, and Dern will get 20, and Robinson will hit 3 threes, and Thompson will pick up all the stocks. And Carter Jr. will get 15, and Banchero will go off for 30. Like, it'd have to be an offensive extravaganza of a game for all of these things to come to fruition, right? I make them like that on purpose because the point of creating a bingo card is not to fill in every square. It's to make it so that, like, what kind of night are we getting? Are we getting a Duren night, which in the series we have not had many Duren nights? Are we getting a Cade Cunningham night, which mostly we are? Are we having a Paolo night when Wagner was helping? Are we having a Paolo night or are we having a Wagner night, right? It's unlikely that both of those guys will go off to meet the quota to meet the props that I have up here for them. So no, when I make the bingo cards, I kind of make them with the idea of like, is it going one way or the other, right? Like we have successful challenge and fail challenge. Now, both of those could happen because both sides have challenges. But it's not impossible. You know, all of these things are possible to happen tonight. But yeah, I make them in such a way that in my mind, it could go, it's usually going to lean one way or the other. I will say, though, Paolo Banchero now up to close to a triple-double, 29, 8, and 7. All-Star Thompson has 13 rebounds tonight, 6, 13, and 6. Solid night for All-Star Thompson, who's always going to struggle offensively. MBM said, did KD quit? I don't think KD quit. I don't. I think KD wants to play basketball, especially high-leverage basketball like this. I think if he's not playing, he's not healthy. I do believe that. But it's not a good look. Just not a good look. We also haven't been playing bingo that long, Jericho. We literally just started the final game of the regular season, right? So the final games of the regular season were not very entertaining. The Knicks were playing the Charlotte Hornets. That was the game we were covering, and it wasn't a close game. It wasn't a super entertaining game. There was a lot of the end of the bench guys for the Knicks. The Hornets played their starters, so we knew what the outcome of the game was likely going to be. And so we were just kind of hanging out, doing more of a watch-along than a play-by-play commentary. And my guy Mark in the chat was like, hey, man, what if we tried doing bingo for the game? I was like, you know what? Let's do it. And it was really fun, and it made a game that wasn't as interesting more interesting. And so it's just a nice little side thing to have up that could also give rewards out to the community if we hit bingo. Not said it's showing me only the Pistons with 96 points. Mark, what's up, Mark? Appreciate you, brother. Yes, it is also showing that on ESPN here. I assume that during this timeout break, they went back to take a look at one of those threes that Detroit hit and ruled one of them a 2, and they did. So I do want to check, is that Duncan Robinson? No, Duncan Robinson still has 3 threes. I think it was a Javonte Green 3. Either way, it's a 10-point game. They throw a lob up top to Duren. Duren gets fouled and gets the shot to go down over Carter Jr. He's going to the foul line for one more. They finally utilized Jalen Duren. They finally utilized him, folks. After the first quarter, they remembered he's on the team. MBM said Raptors win the ring the storm. Christian Blaze said Ingram is out with a foot and heel inflammation injury. We're keeping an eye on that one. It's a 6-point lead here for the Raptors. 6-point lead for the Raptors there. Duren knocks down his and one free throw. 4-point lead now. They got it up over there in the corner. Here we go. Banchero has it up top. Back up to 13 it goes. Banchero over to Anthony Black. Back up top to Banchero. Coming to his left. Banchero's going to dance with it. Come to his right. Down the lane. Stop. Turn. Drop step. Floater. Got it to go for Paolo Banchero. A tough move. He's up to 31. He's got 30. There's Paolo for 30. There's Paolo for 30. Here comes Cunningham up top. He's looking for a response. He's got 37. He's on the verge of 40. Cunningham over to LeVert. Jab step. Coming to his right. Gets the ball knocked out of his hands. Suggs picks it up. Over to Anthony Black. Anthony Black has it up top. They're going to run some good offense. He doesn't want to force anything. Anthony Black dancing with it. Crosses over to his right. Down the lane. Ball knocked out of his hands. He picks it back up. Manipulating. Gets swatted out of bounds by All-Star Thompson. Recovered. Anthony Black. Brother, you got to go quicker. You got to go quicker. You got All-Star Thompson chasing you. What are you doing manipulating your way softly going into the paint like that? MBM said no BI is going to be tough. I don't know. They might be better without him. Desmond Bane in the paint draws the foul on All-Star Thompson there. That is only Thompson's second foul. Looks like 2 free throws for Bane unless they call it on the floor. Let's see. Side out of bounds. No shot attempt. No, now free throws. Okay. Bane knocks down the first one. If you want to make this comeback happen here in the fourth. MBM said, said I got you up 9. There you go. Detroit going up 3-2 is a truly hilarious outcome, man. I really can't wait for it. Bane knocks down both free throws. There you go, Desmond Bane. Here comes Cade Cunningham bringing it down. 8:20 to go. Cunningham up top, coming to his right off the Harris screen. Anthony Black flops, looking for a foul. They get over to Harris, a pull-up three, got it to go in the pick and pop. Anthony Black is playing this like it's a regular season. Stop flopping around for stuff. Come on, man, what are you doing? Why is it back up to 102? Why is the score off again? Did they have the score wrong? Is it right? I don't know. Bane, left wing, pump fakes, up top to Banchero, 12-point game. Rhythm dribble, pull-up three, over to Tobias Harris. He responds right back with the three of his own. Paolo, man. Paolo Banchero. Up to 34, going toe-to-toe with Cade Cunningham here tonight. He's on the verge of a triple-double as well. 34, 8, and 7 for Paolo. Cunningham coming to his right off the screen, picked up by Carter Jr. Looks like he's waving everybody away. They go over to Harris, attacking to his left in the paint. Hop step, little fall-away jumper, got it to go again. Tobias Harris hooping. He's up to 20. 21 for Tobias Harris. He's been a killer. He's been the secondary guy that Detroit's needed here tonight. Banchero crosses over down the lane, draws a foul, and banks in the runner. He's going to the foul line for one more. Paolo scratching and clawing and keeping his team in this game. Where would they be without this offensive explosion from Paolo Banchero? He's been a demon here tonight. Captain Mast, what's up, Captain? I'm thinking the Pistons don't have a Larry Bird to pull off the 3 games needed for the comeback. They don't have a Larry Bird, but they got a Cade Cunningham. Banchero misses yet another free throw. Paolo Banchero, man. As awesome as he's played the free throws, he would have 40 points by now if he just knocked down 4 more free throws, which he's missed like 7 or 8 of them tonight. My goodness. Disastrous night at the foul line for Paolo Banchero. Harris up top gets it over LeVert. Looks like the Magic are in a zone here. They leave it off for Cunningham, being guarded by Bane. Backing him down. Fall away over him, well contested. Can't get it to go. Duren right there for the two-handed putback slam. Here comes Banchero quickly rushing it down the other end. Banchero is going to sidestep, set himself up, and launch the 3, and he's going to knock it down. Paolo Banchero up to 39. He's on the verge of a 40 ball. He is hooping out of his mind, folks. It's an 8-point game. Harris has it up top, being guarded by Suggs. Picks up his handle. He's got nowhere to go. Gets it over to LeVert. LeVert trying to get it to Cunningham. They can. They get it back to Harris. Harris up top. They do get it to Cunningham. Cunningham. Pass fake. Gets it back to Harris. He'll launch up on yet another 3. He'll miss it. Harris LeVert can't get it. Rebounded by Jalen Duren. Bringing it back out. Bane almost locks it loose. LeVert picks it up. And he gets fouled by Anthony Black. 6:20 to go. We're approaching the halfway point. 8-point game. Neither team in the bonus. So it's side out of bounds here for Detroit. BMR said they're just trading buckets. It's not going to work. No, you gotta combine stops and scores. Just getting stops ain't good enough. Just getting scores ain't good enough unless you combine the two of them to make this comeback happen. All-Star Thompson's going to sub out of the game here. Tobias Harris has been in fuego as well. He's up to 21. Anthony Black has been in fuego. He's got 19, but he's making a couple of mistakes here. They put Dennis Jenkins back in the game. Are they sticking in a zone? It looks like they're going back to man here. Tobias Harris has it up top, being guarded by Banchero. Approaching the halfway point. They get over to Cunningham, being guarded by Black. Coming to his right, Carter Jr. hedges out. They show 2 defenders. Now they retreat. They get it over to Harris, up top. Jab step, coming to his left. Banchero sticking in front. Step back, straight away 3. Harris comes up short, long rebound. Bane able to corral it. Beating Duren to the ball. Quick outlet to Suggs. Suggs driving it down. Stops, kicks it out. Anthony Black swings through to his left. Left corner, pump fake, leans in, looking for the foul. Throws up an air ball. What are you doing, Anthony Black? What was that? Too many times tonight, I'm looking up and Anthony Black making a horrible decision. I get he's a young player, but my goodness, and Desmond Bane picks up a foul, pushing off Dennis Jenkins there. It's a dumb foul from Dennis. That's a dumb foul from Desmond Bane. That's a horrific foul from him. Nikki said, if only they made those free throws. It'd at worst at least be a closer game than 8 right now. BMR said, put Kane back in the game. I get that, but you kind of need the shot making that Black has provided tonight and that Bane has provided tonight. You need the shot making. Cunningham down the lane, draws the foul, is going to the foul line for 2. Yeah, put Kane back in. Anthony Black making too many mistakes right now. Too many mistakes for Anthony Black. Cade Cunningham to the foul line for 2. 5:35 to go here. Knocks down the first one. Got another one coming. Gigi said, refs making sure the Magic don't get close. I think the officiating has evened out. To start the game, it definitely favored Detroit, but Orlando has not done themselves any favors. They've missed so many free throws. The officiating, for the most, like, I don't like how they officiated the game, but it's been much more even in the second half. Should have gone either way. It's been a close game. Orlando's let go to the reins a couple of times here as Cunningham knocks down both. Mr. Gabriel, what's up, Mr. Gabriel? Appreciate you, brother. Hope you're having a good time tonight. Thank you for that subscription. Not said, I'm going to need some emotional support if the Rockets lose. Suggs coming to his left, blown by the defense, inside the Carter Jr., kicks out the Bane, a left corner three, he's open, and he got it to go. Big time shot from Desmond Bane, 7-point game. 5 minutes to go. This is why you can't keep fouling Desmond Bane. You got 5 fouls. If you sub out of this game, they got no other knockdown shooters. Cunningham gets it over to Danish Jenkins down the lane, leaves it back over to Cunningham, being guarded by Banchero. Cunningham, jab step, swings through to his left, stops, has him in the post, backing him down, steps back, almost travels, gets it into Thompson, little fall away jumper in the paint, comes up short, Anthony Black with a rebound. Here comes Suggs bringing it down. Suggs coming to his right. Suggs calling for a screen, calling for Banchero, gets it to him on the left wing, being guarded by Cunningham. Paolo Banchero, jab step, coming to his right, driving down in the lane, runs right into Duren. A lot of contact, no foul call. Here comes Cunningham pushing it the other way after turnover. Cunningham up top, head of steam, driving it down into Carter Jr., and they draw the foul. See, I don't love that foul call because to me, that's the same contact that Duren just had with Banchero that Cunningham just had here with Carter Jr. Like, that's clean from Duren. Now show the Carter Jr. one. Like, to me, that's a clean attempt from Duren. Well, he does slap down at the end there with his arms. So Cunningham back at the foul line for 2. Can give him 40 points. Banchero sitting with 39. Cunningham sitting with 39, but he's at the foul line for 2. Isaiah Gardner. What's up, Isaiah Gardner? We get a timeout first? Or we got blood? We're going to get an injury timeout here, an official timeout. Mark said foul on Duren. He does slap down at the end. If he kept the arm straight up, I would have been like perfect defensive possession there for Duren. But he does slap down his arms at the end there. But maybe at that point, Banchero had already lost the ball, so does it really count? I don't know. I just think it was very similar contact, a very similar defensive play that just occurred on the other side. So if you're not going to call that a foul, which I agree with, maybe don't call the other one a foul. But they haven't shown the replay on that one. So I don't want to commit too hard in that opinion. Sunset and Skylines. What's up, Sunset? Think the Magic could come back? They can. It's 4:30 to go. Could go either way. A lot of time left. Orlando got to stop fouling. Yeah. Not entirely their fault. The officiating has been very uneven tonight for both sides. Ton of free throws going either way. Paolo playing big without Franz is, I'm impressed. I mean, yeah. He is rehabilitating his reputation around the league, especially amongst fans. Back to a 4-point game. Toronto up by 4 here. 92-88. Cunningham knocks down the first free throw. He's got another one coming. He's got 40. He's 13 of 13 from the foul line. Look at this free throw shooting. 16 of 30. They missed 14 free throws. They're shooting 53%. That ain't getting it done. They've shot 32 free throws, so about even, and they've made 25 of them. It's a 9-point differential. This should be a tied game in made free throws. This should be a tied game, but instead you're down by 9 because you've missed far more free throws. Orlando, if they do end up losing this game, Suggs another floater can't get it to go. If they do end up losing this game, it's entirely their own doing. Entirely their own doing. Thompson down the lane, gets stripped by Suggs. Bane rips it away. Bane still has it on the ground. Loose ball, picked up by Carter Jr., gets it over to Anthony Black, and now Anthony Black will bring it down. Black leaves it off for Bane, shot down the cannon, down the lane. He smokes a layup. Here comes Detroit, under 4 to go. Time winding down, not on your side. And a timeout by the Pistons and Bickerstaff. Isaiah Garner said, only thing is Paolo's missed too many free throws, which is important. Yeah, missed an insane amount of free throws tonight. I mean, the guy, he's got 39 points. How many free throws has he missed tonight? Solely Banchero has missed 7 free throws. He's got 39. He should have 46 points. 46. I'll give him 2 missed free throws. So he's got 7 missed. Should have 5 more points. Should have 44 points right now. Because you're not going to shoot 100% from the foul line. I give him 2 missed free throws, right? He should be 10 for 12 from the foul line here. 5 for 12 is disgusting. He should be 10 for 12 from the foul line here. It's 5 more points for his team. It's a 4-point game. It's 106 to 110. Cunningham is 13 for 13, or 14 for 14. He's doing his thing. He's doing what stars do. Missed opportunities, NBA. Missed opportunities. Missed free throws. Kill me, man. It's one of my biggest basketball pet peeves. I give 2 points to the wrong side. Why did I give the Pistons 2 points? It's 110 to 101. It's a 9-point game. Toronto holding serve over here against Cleveland. Jameson Battle made a 3, by the way. I do want to look at this box score real quick. Ingram went out after playing 11 minutes. He went out. RJ, 22. Barnes, 17. Pirtle, 11. Jacoby Walter, 17 points on 5 for 10 from three-point range. And he's got 4 steals. Scotty Barnes, 17, 3, and 8. RJ Barrett, 22, 7, and 4. He's hooping. Put some respect to my guy's RJ's name, man. He's hooping out there. Jamal shut off the bench with 15. He's also hooping. Colin Murray Boyles tonight. Not as good of an impactful game. 2 points and a rebound. Got to be better than that. He's a rookie, though. Isaiah Garner said, because free throws are literally free points. Yeah, they put free in the name of it for a reason, right? They didn't call them shot attempts. They called them free throws. You have a free opportunity to throw the ball in the basket. You're a professional basketball player who presumably has been playing basketball your entire life. Your entire life. And you're telling me 15 feet away from the basket, you can't put it in at an 80% clip? No one's going to shoot 100% from the foul line. I'm looking at 80, 75, 70% is like the bare minimum. That's what I got for big men, just because they don't have a soft touch for whatever reason. Most big men don't have soft touch. This is why Jokic is like an anomaly in that regard. He's got such a soft touch with the ball. But, for most other players, like 75%, 75%. That's a C. It's a C in school. You can't get a C at the foul line? What are we talking about? Kenta, what's up, Kenta? I need Pistons to win by 11 to cover. I'm rooting for you, brother. JP Drum said, getting that NBA money, they should make free throws. I don't even care about the money. I really don't. I really don't. It's unfathomable to me that your entire life you have been spent on a basketball court. Almost every free time you've had, you've been on a basketball court. And you can't knock down a free opportunity 15 feet away from the basket? Can't throw it up there? It's disgusting. And look, off nights happen. Off nights happen. But figure it out, man. Really, figure it out. Here we go. Approaching the 3:30 mark. Cunningham turns it over. And then Duran fouls Wendell Carter Jr. Going for that loose ball. 3:45 to go. It's Cade Cunningham's 6th turnover. Corey Skeet said, came expecting the end of the Pistons game, seeing the Cavs game I just can't stand to see. If Cleveland goes down 3-2, this will be interesting. It'll be interesting. I'll leave it at that. It'll be interesting. Cade Cunningham up to 41 points tonight. Paolo Banchero up top, picks up his handle. Hands it off to Anthony Black. Dancing with it against Duncan Robinson. Coming to his left. Pump fake. Gets it over to Banchero. Left corner 3 over Javonte Green. Well contested. It didn't matter. Paolo Banchero, man, he refuses to let his team go anywhere. He can't buy a basket from the foul line, but he's letting it fly from 3. Here come the Pistons bringing it down. Cunningham coming to his right, down the lane in the paint, kicks it out. Danish Jenkins, the deep left corner three. He's been off all night, continues to be off as he misses that one. Ball knocked into the air. Banchero able to recover it. Quick outlet to, I thought he threw it away, but Suggs able to recover it. Suggs in the paint, pulls it back out. Leaves it off for Bane. Bane being guarded by Jenkins, gets it back to Suggs. Swings through to his right at the Banchero screen. He's got a lane to the basket, kicks it out. Wendell Carter Jr., wide open left corner three. They need it. He can deliver. Bane the offensive rebound. No foul. They kick it out to Banchero. Up top, Banchero swings through to his left, down the lane. Ball knocked out of his hands. Still a loose ball. Diving for it. Cunningham picks it up. Behind the back, full court pass. Duncan Robinson down the lane. Layup. Can't get it to go. Battle for the rebound. Knocked out of bounds. Whose ball? Orlando ball. What a defensive stand there out of the break. It's a 6-point game. Kentot said, is this an elimination game for the Pistons? Yes, indeed it is, Kentot. Yes, indeed it is. If the Pistons lose, they go home. They're out. Orlando leads 3-1. MBM said Cleveland does a lot of emotional firing of their coaches. They do. 2:30 to go here. They get over to Banchero up top. He's calling for a screen. Said Anthony Black, bring Duncan Robinson in the action. Robinson hedges out. A bad hedge out. He's going to fire a tough three, though. He can't get it to go off the back of the rim. Thompson a rebound. Don't love that three from Banchero. Get downhill, big dog. You've been successful with doing that. Maybe he doesn't want to go to the foul line. I don't know. Cunningham up top. Surprised we don't have a player fouled out tonight. Dern with 5 fouls, though. Cunningham being guarded by Suggs. Dancing with it. Coming to his right. Down the lane. In the paint. A little fall away. Well contested. Didn't matter. He got it to go. Big time shot for Cade. Gets it back to an 8-point game. They've held Orlando an arm's distance away. Under 2 minutes to go now. Time not on Orlando's side. Banchero bringing it down. Crosses over. Pulls it back out. Coming to his left. Dancing with it. In and out dribble. Driving it down. Bullying his way into the paint. Kicks it out. Desmond Bane. Wide open left corner three. They need it. He can deliver. Carter Jr. the offensive rebound. Out to Suggs. Pump fakes. Down the lane. Pass fake. Leaves it off Carter Jr. The two-handed slam. Nice pass from Jalen Suggs. Nice finish from Carter Jr. Back to 6 it goes, but 1:40 to go here in the game. Not a lot of time left. You got to get a big defensive stop. Cunningham walking it down. He has it up top the other way, being guarded by Anthony Black. Cunningham's going to wind down as much time as possible. He's going to run a pick and roll with Duncan Robinson. Baines flops and hits the floor. They show multiple bodies. Duncan Robinson will fire the three. It comes up short. Battle for the rebound over to Suggs. Cross-court pass. Bane bringing it down. Crosses over to his right. Loses the handle. Picks it up. Kicks it out. Suggs over to Banchero. Banchero walking it down. Attacking to his right. Nobody in the paint. Going to the rim. Layup gets swatted out of bounds by Duren. 6-point game. Ball will stay here with Orlando. 1:12 to go. Not a lot of time at all to work with. You got to go quickly here, but you don't want to rush. It's a paradox. You got to go quickly, but you can't rush. They get it into Banchero. He'll quickly catch and fire, and he'll rattle it in. Paolo Banchero makes it a one-possession game. Little over a minute to go. 112 to 109. Here comes Cade Cunningham bringing it down. Paolo Banchero with the ridiculous 45 points tonight. Cade Cunningham matching him point for point. He's got 43. They show two bodies to Cade. They get it over to Harris. Harris wide open in the mid-range. Now he's going to pull it back out. Didn't want to take the shot too quickly. But Harris has to isolate now against Banchero. Coming to his left. Step back. Foul away. Over him. High arcing. Comes up well short. Loose ball. Knocked away. Suggs dives for it. Thompson dives for it. Gets it over to Harris. They have a reset clock to 14. Cade Cunningham has it up top with 10 seconds to go. Bane has it. Game clock down to 35. They have to come up with a stop. Cunningham pulls it back. Mid-range. Fall away. For the dagger. He got it. 114, 109. They needed a rebound. They needed one rebound. They couldn't get it. And Cunningham puts a nail in the coffin. Is it the final nail in the coffin? We'll see. 30 seconds remaining. 30 seconds remaining. GG said this game definitely ranked 28 points from the foul line for Cunningham. 14 to 14? That's not how free throws work, brother. He's got 14 points from the foul line. You don't double it up. Yeah, brother, but it's not rigged. It's not rigged at all. How can you say that? Yeah, Cunningham's taking 14 free throw attempts. Banchero's taking 12. He's just hit 5 of them. You got to knock down your free throws. You got to knock down your free throws. The free throws are mostly tied. Very close. Maybe slight advantage to Detroit here. 33 to 30 in the free throw battle. One team's hit 26 of them. The other team's hit 16. One team's hit 10 more free throws than the other. And they've had about the same opportunities. That can't happen. That's where they lost the game. Orlando's going to lose this game, shooting themselves in the foot. not knocking down their very free shots. Paolo Banchero, 45 points, man. Cade Cunningham already broke the Pistons record for the most points scored in a single playoff game. Paolo Banchero 1 point away. 1 point behind Dwight Howard. 45 for Banchero, 45 for Cunningham. My goodness, what a performance tonight from the two stars. Detroit said 2 Titans back at it. You gotta love it, man. You gotta love it. Suggs will inbound it. They get it in the Bane. Bane does not matter. They call an offensive foul on Carter Jr., setting a tough screen on Javonte Green, a moving screen. It was indeed the right call. And that might be the final nail in the coffin right there, that one. I think I said Paolo should have had 50 points. Yeah, easily. Easily should have had 50. They put themselves behind the 8 ball, man. I think Arna said, missed free throws happen to us in game 2 versus the Hawks. It'll sink you. It'll sink any team. You can't take those free opportunities for granted. Mighty Montrell, Del Montrell. I don't like the way this game was officiated. Me either. I've complained about it all game. But it was called even enough. Yeah, Orlando just couldn't capitalize. Yeah, it was called even enough. It started off very heavily favored to Detroit. It evened out as the game went on for sure. Orlando just didn't take advantage of their opportunities. I also don't like the way the game was officiated. Way too tight. It was way too tight. Timeout for Detroit here. Or a foul? Foul. Harris will go to the foul line for 2. But this one's over. This one's over. 60 free throws is crazy. It is crazy. It is crazy. Are we in the playoffs or not? This was a regular season crew here. This crew is not ready for prime time. It evened out as the game went on, but they were not. It was not a good crew at all. I guess the only saving grace here is that Tobias Harris is 2-5 from the free throw line here tonight. Knocks down the first one. Buzzer Beater said, Orlando, don't screw up this opportunity. Kind of is what it is. Mark said Orlando will finish it at home. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. What's the status of Franz Wagner, right? We'll see. Harris rattles in both. I got to give it to Orlando, though, with how they brought the fight tonight, though. This game early, up by 17 for... up by 17. Banchero can't get the 3 to go. A lot of contact, no foul call on the 3-point attempt. Harris will bring it down, and that'll wrap it up. What was I saying? I don't remember. They called Harris out of bounds. Instead of calling a foul, they throw the home run pass to Suggs. Oh, yeah. I was very impressed with Orlando's fight here tonight. Really impressive fight. No Franz away. Very desperate Detroit team. Down by 17 early. The whistle did not go your way early. You very well could have hung your head and said, all right, it's not our night. Down by 17 like that. And they battled back. They clawed back. It was close. Banchero put his team on his back. He was absolutely phenomenal tonight outside of the free throws. Free throws is what cost them the game, right? It's hard to discuss Paolo's night because he was literally he almost had a triple-double with 45. Not to mention that. 45, 9, and 7. I mean, he had to do everything for his team tonight in order for them to even have an opportunity at the end here. Ultimately 5 for 12 from the free throw line is what's going to lose them the game from Banchero. 5 more free throws from him. I'll give him 2 missed free throws. 10 for 12 from the free throw line is what he should have been at least. That would have knocked it to the final score being 104 to 113, 114. I'll take the 2 points away from Tobias Harris, who knocked down the last 2 free throws there to make it 116. That's what it should have been. That's what it should have been. Mark said the Toronto game. 100, 103. Got a full quarter left. All right, we'll keep an eye on it as long as we can. Let's filibuster for a bit. Let's see how that goes. Let's check out our box scores, though. Did we get bingo tonight? Is the question. What did we need? No technical foul. No player fouled out. Did a player foul out? No player fouled out. No. 5 fouls for Carter Jr., 5 fouls for Desmond Bane, 5 fouls for Jalen Duren. Very close. All the free throws that happened tonight, we didn't get a player to foul out. Star, what's up, Star? I was so locked in. The game was crazy. Despite the loss, Banchero popped off. Yeah. Very impressive game from both stars. K. Hazy, strong game. Solid game. 2T in the morning said also played out of his mind today. He was a demon on the boards for sure. Got the stocks up as usual. He had 15 rebounds, 6 assists. He did have the 5 turnovers, though. 5 steals and 2 blocks is crazy. 7 stocks in the game is insane. Gigi said no Franz, and it took the refs to come off the bench for the defraud Pistons. Rigged. Yeah, Orlando will go back home. They had a fantastic shooting night tonight. We'll see if they can have another one. Because they're going to need it. Banchero hitting those threes was crazy. Yeah, what did Banchero end with in threes made? 6 for 11 from three-point range for Paolo Banchero. Let's make it 6 for 10 because he heaved that last one up, well contested by Stewart. So 6 for 10 from the three-point line for Paolo Banchero was pretty insane. But that's going to wrap us up. Double checking our bingo card. We needed a player to foul out. They didn't. We needed a technical foul. We didn't have one. Crazy we didn't have a technical foul. No double doubles. Also, Thompson had 15 rebounds, but only 6 points. No double doubles tonight. That's not going to help us with bingo anyway. Banchero did have 30 that I didn't fill in, but that's not going to help us with bingo anyway. So, no bingo tonight, unfortunately. Very close, but no cigar. Very close. Isaiah Garner said, Cade literally averaging seven turnovers this series. Yeah, and he had another 6 today. 6 turnovers for Cade Cunningham tonight, despite the 45-5 for Cade. And they didn't have a matchup for Cade Cunningham tonight. No Franz Wagner, who's their direct matchup, really the only guy they could have on him, because Paolo Banchero has to match up on the inside with Tobias Harris and Jalen Duren and Isaiah Stewart and guys like that. So they have Franz Wagner as their wing guarding Cade Cunningham. With him out, it's not just losing him on the offensive side of the ball for his team, it's losing him on the defensive side of the ball as well. Tough night. Tough to overcome overall in the series. But we'll see if they can. Cleveland's taking the lead. I don't think they're going to look back. Part of the reason I don't really want to tune into it right now. Buzzer Beater said, I'm really feeling the bingo idea. Was it your idea? It was my guy Mark. My guy Mark in the chat. It was his idea. It was the last game of the regular season where we were doing the Knicks taking on the Hornets. It was more of a watch-along than a play-by-play commentary, just because it was the end of the bench for the Knicks, because they weren't playing anybody. So we were just kind of hanging out. Mark brought it up. Villainette TV said, AR's a go tonight. Okay, there you go. Going to try and close it out tonight against the Rockets. You don't want to go into Game 6 back at Houston, man. You really don't. End it tonight in 5. Robert Cross, what's up, Robert? Great game. Appreciate you, Rob. Appreciate you. Reed's playing tonight at Game 5. That should be good. Should make it good. They need a little bit more creation with Luke Kennard crashing back down to earth. Just a little bit. What channel is this game on? It's on ESPN. You can go to ESPN real quick. We could pull this up real quick. And like I said, we'll filibuster for a bit here. We won't stay for the entirety of the game. This is very loud. Very loud. Okay. Shot clock violations in that game. We didn't have a shot clock violation tonight in our game. We also didn't have 4-point play, unfortunately. So we'll hang out here for a bit. Down 5, RJ down the lane, gets stripped, picks it up, pump fake, steps through, gets fouled. He's going to go to the foul line for 2. So the other game tips off in about 20-ish minutes or so. Roy Loriaga. What's up, Roy? Philippines. Thank you for your live. Appreciate you, Roy. Thank you for hanging out with us. So just looking at the quarter-by-quarter breakdown, obviously we didn't watch this game, so I can't tell you for sure who's got the momentum and the vibe of it. But there's 8 minutes to go here. RJ Barrett knocks down both free throws. But it's 108. It says 106 here. So that's going to spoil us. Schroeder missed it. He hit the floor. It's a 5-on-4. The Raptors going to score here. Jamal Shed. Extra pass to Walter. Pump fakes. Attacks. Cross court again. Battle pump fakes. Fly-by defense. A lot of fly-by defense here for Cleveland. I guess because Toronto's knocked down a bunch of perimeter shots tonight. Let's just take a quick look at let's take a gander. Take a gander over the box score here. It's going to be a 2-point game. It is a 2-point game, 106-108. Schroeder to the basket, gets the layup. We know Ingram went out with the injury. Okay. Off the bench, Shed 3 threes. Mamukelashvili hit 2 threes. Battles hit a 3. So that is 6 threes off the bench. Kobe Walter by himself hit 5. So that's 11 threes total. That's 13 threes with RJ's 2. We're going to see Cleveland's going to score again. See, having this page open like this spoils us to the game, which is why we don't do it. Why we don't have these pages open. Looking over at Cleveland's bench. Mobley hit a 3. That was who hit the 3. Mobley with 20 tonight. 7 for 11 from the field. Very important to have an impactful Mobley game for sure. He does also have 3 blocks and a steal. 4 stocks from Mobley is important as well. Getting a defensive effort from him. Buzzer Beater said, historically, what are the odds of Detroit's winning that series? I don't know. Off the top of my head, I don't know. I know the odds. I mean, if you want to talk about the odds of an 8 seed beating a 1 seed is not high. Another 3 for the Raptors, by the way. My goodness. Jamal Shed knocked it down to get it back to a 2-point game. We're going to get a timeout. 6 minutes to go. Do we hang out for the final 6 minutes? Why not, right? Why not? We'll stay live for the final 6 minutes here. Why not? But what I can look up is how many times NBA team came back from 3-1 deficit. Just that said, the bracket should reset if the one gets bounced in round 1. Pretty funny. 13 times in NBA history. 13 times in NBA history. The most recent time was 2020 in the bubble, where the Nuggets did it twice. So it's not in their favor at all. It's not in Detroit's favor at all. It's possible. It's happened before, 3-1 deficit comebacks. And there's usually an extenuating circumstance that comes with those comebacks. In this scenario, we'll see the health of Franz Wagner. Hopefully he can play in the next game. Hopefully it's not a serious injury. He just needed, a couple of days to recover. And hopefully it doesn't hamper his game too much. So there's that. There's that going against them. There's also the fact that they are the 1 seed taking on an 8 seed. So there's also that going against them, going against Orlando in their favor, I guess. How many times has a 1 seed knocked off an 8 seed? I think people said in the chat 6 times in NBA history, but 4 times while we have been under the 7-game series format in the first round here, since we swapped over to that, swapped over from the 5-game series. So history is not on the side of the Pistons pulling this off. It's just not. Although it gets a little bit better on their side, considering they are the 1 seed taking on the 8 seed, history is not on the side of the 8 seeds overcoming this and beating a 1 seed overall. But considering they took a 3-1 lead, Freeway said it's a hammy, he might be done. Is it a hammy? I was going back and forth into thinking, was it a hammy or was it a calf? I thought it was a hammy too. And then I said calf later in the day. But let me just look it up again. I thought it was a hammy as well. Thought that's what I read. It's a strained right calf. Strained right calf. And the calf is more scary because obviously we've seen what calf injuries could lead to, strained calf injuries could lead to. Wagner did not participate in Orlando shoot-around this morning. It's officially ruled out. Any other information? No, it's a strained right calf, yeah. So I'm seeing the reports now from all the beat reporters. Strained right calf. Okay. Yeah, Calf is scary because the calf injuries have recent history has shown us that it has led to an Achilles tear, unfortunately. And obviously we don't want to see that for Franz Wagner. So it's like this battle, man. It's this dance. You gotta wait. You gotta walk that line. You put yourself in harm's way. What is the risk factor in all of it? It's tough. Buzzer beaters, especially since Doc Rivers isn't coaching. Yeah, no Doc Rivers, and it's a lot tougher to come back down 3-1. Although, look, Mosley was on the verge of being fired at the end of the regular season there, at the end of the play-in tournament. Everybody had them losing to Charlotte. Jamal Mosley, head coach of Orlando Magic, was on the verge of being fired. So maybe he might be taking over as the new Doc Rivers and giving up this 3-1 lead. We'll see. Schroeder's going to knock down this jump shot, and it is a 4-point game. 6 minutes to go. They're halfway through this fourth quarter, man. Halfway through. We'll just hang out to the end of this game, I suppose. Why not? Pirtle hands it off to Shed. Pocket pass to Pirtle, a floater. Rattles in and out of bounds. It's going to go back to the Cavs. Schroeder will bring it down. So as far as... I guess we could do this. Schroeder knocks down the 3. Big time shot for Dennis Schroeder. Tell you that. I'll tell you that. And a timeout for Toronto. Pivotal game 5, y'all. 5:25 to go. We can do this. Hold on. Watch this. Watch this, y'all. This is Cavs versus Raptor. Do we have that up here? We do not. So it's Raptors versus Cavs down here. Go down to the R's. We can just do this real quick. And it's very close. It is 111 to 118. We can leave it at that. We can reset our clock real quick. We'll just let that tick down during this timeout break, and it'll catch up eventually. Buzzer Beater said if Bronny played for Detroit, they would have swept Orlando. Maybe. I mean, what has Dennis Jenkins really done for them in this series? RJ Barrett tonight, 23 and 10. Look at RJ hoop, man. Look at RJ go. So inspirational. Love RJ. Love rooting for RJ. We also talked about Cleveland as well earlier in the night when we were talking about what does Cleveland do if they do end up losing this series, which they could. The Joe said, dang, poor Dennis. Poor Dennis Jenkins, man. I mean, look, man, he got his guaranteed contract. He got converted from a two-way to a standard. Played his way out of that. But yeah, it's been rough for him since. It's been rough for him since then. We were talking about what happens to Cleveland if they lose this. Because not only, do you make a huge trade where you trade the younger point guard, the more promising point guard, for the veteran that has a history of no showing in the playoffs in James Harden. You trade Garland for Harden, which just is still a baffling decision to me. I get the reasons they did it. That does not make it a good reason. I get that there were reasons to make that deal. That does not mean they were good reasons. So they trade Garland for Harden. knowing that James Harden has this tendency to no-show playoff games. Although I will say tonight, 22, 7, and 5 for him, 7 for 10 from the floor is pretty excellent for the most part. Where's Donovan Mitchell here in this pivotal fourth quarter? 5:25 to go in it. Buzzer beater, the Maple Mamba, RJ Barrett. We'll always love the guy. We'll always root for him. Once a Nick, always a Nick, RJ Barrett. Had nothing but positive things to say on his way out the door. Unlike some other people. Isaiah Hartenstein, hate that guy. Dennis Schroeder with 17 points tonight? My goodness. But what does Cleveland do? Because not only are you losing to a lesser team in Toronto, you take into account that Toronto was seen as the team that every East team, every top four, each of the top 4 teams in the East wanted to play Toronto. They wanted to play Toronto. Detroit would have loved to play Toronto in the first round. Boston would have loved to play Toronto in the first round. The Knicks were begging to play Toronto in the first round. They smoked them in 5 regular season games in double digits in each of them. None of them were particularly that close. And then you had RJ Barrett and Harden going at it. going at it. Sorry, guys. Detroit boy said, go get Giannis, Cleveland. It's a sneaky Giannis thing. The Giannis thing is weird because obviously that relationship that he had with Milwaukee, whatever relationship it was, seems to have deteriorated to animosity at this point. I don't know if they do what's best for him. At one point, I was like, guys, Milwaukee's going to do what's best for Giannis. They're not going to send him to, basketball, the basketball equivalent of Siberia out there in Cleveland. Nobody really wants to go out there, wants to get traded to Cleveland, especially stars like that. It's part of the reason why LeBron had to leave because nobody wanted to come play with him in Cleveland. Jared Allen, nice big squad in the paint. So I don't know if Milwaukee would send Giannis to Cleveland in like an Evan Mobley-centric package. If Giannis is like, yeah, I don't want to be here. Especially considering that Giannis's contract is coming up. Like, you're going to have to pay Giannis. That's the thing. Any team that trades for him is going to have to pay him. Will Giannis sign that deal? He has been injury prone. He might just decide to sign the deal wherever he goes to make sure he gets his money, rather than take his chances considering how injury prone he's been. Detroit said they got to go get the most talent they can, right? Yeah, it's not a bad idea. My only question is like, how willing is Milwaukee to send Giannis to a team he very much does not want to go to, right? Like, I highly doubt Giannis is going to be happy going from Milwaukee to Cleveland when rumors are that Miami would be interested. Obviously, the New York Knicks rumors have been flying around all season long. You fascinate about those things just to end up in Cleveland. Like Giannis has already shown, like he will publicly tell people exactly how he feels, right? Cleveland's starting to pull away from this, so I think we're going to sign up off here now. Buzzer Beater said, what's all this Cade to New York Knicks talk? Just a whole lot of nothing, just a lot of smoke. He's going to probably, the way it's ending in Houston right now, it seems like Houston's going to be out on the KD thing, the way Phoenix was, the way Brooklyn was, the way everybody tends to be when KD goes to your team and ruins your locker room. So it's like, all right, well, what are the logical next choices? Cleveland? Not Cleveland, though. Back to Golden State? Does he maybe end his career in the Lakers with LeBron? Does he want to play with LeBron for a season? New York, the Knicks. There was the whole thing that the only reason he ended up on the Nets was because of Kyrie. Kind of always wanted to play for the Knicks, but, followed his friend. And it's just a whole lot of nothing. Not a lot to go through there. 122 to 111. It's an 11-point lead for Cleveland. It's the largest lead of the game. It's a little over 4 minutes to go. Royal Kings with the Broyo. You're a Cleveland hater? I'm not a Cleveland hater, brother. I got family that lives in Cleveland. But objectively, people outside of Cleveland want nothing to do with being in Cleveland. That is not hating. That is a fact. Why would somebody want to be in Cleveland when they could be in Miami, when they could be in New York? It's 113, 124, still back and forth they go. Jacoby Walter, 3. Colin Murray-Boyle not having a good game, I assume, is rough for Cleveland in the second half, considering that Jakob Poeltl is tough to play in these moments. But still, is Donovan Mitchell hurt? Where's Donovan Mitchell? You got 3 minutes to go, and you got Dennis Schroeder on the court. I get he's playing well, but I get he's got 19, but does anybody know what's going on with Donovan Mitchell? Is he just getting benched in the closeout minutes here of a pivotal Game 5? Harden, foul line jumper, can't get it to go, looking for the foul, doesn't get it. Oh, Paolo Murray-Boyle is out there. I thought he was on the bench. RJ, cross-court pass, Jacoby Walter, another open 3. Can't get it. Rebounded by RJ Barrett. Pump fake, pump fake, pump fake. Goes up, knocked out of bounds. Villanette TV said pairing Giannis with Luka would match the overall Western duos. Giannis with Luka would be disgusting. It would. It would. Here's the thing. Luka wants to play with a pick and roll big man. And Giannis has very much made it known that he doesn't really want to spend his time on the court setting a ton of screens. He wants the ball in his hands. Part of the reason why him and Dame Lillard didn't really work as it should have. It worked, but not to the degree that it should have. Jamal Shed misses 2 threes there. Royal King said Harden chose Cleveland. Harden chose the money. Harden chose Brooklyn, and then Harden decided not to choose Brooklyn, and then he chose Philly, and then Harden decided not to choose Philly, and then he chose LA, and then Harden chose not LA to join Cleveland. Like, Harden doesn't really choose places. He's just like, all right, who's going to pay me my money? Who can I go? Who can I go to who's willing to pay me my money? Blake W's with the Blake. Pistons struggled with Magic missing Franz and also missing 14 free throws. Yeah, the free throws killed them more than missing Franz. I mean, obviously missing Franz hurt a lot, but they could have won this game if they weren't horrific from the foul line. A 3 for Dennis Schroeder, airballs it, rebounded by Mobley, out to Harden. Harden, pump fakes, puts it up, throws up an airball. He's looking for a foul, he doesn't get it. Doesn't get the foul call. 1:40 to go, though. Not a lot of time left, and an 8-point lead for Cleveland. Look like they're going to pull it off. Royal King said Bron chose Cleveland. Not really. He was born there, I know he was born in Akron, not Cleveland, but he was born there. So, born in Ohio, and then drafted there. He felt obligated to choose Cleveland again, but yeah, you're right. He did choose to come back. You're right. After he decided to leave, And leave for Miami nonetheless, which is my point with Giannis, is that he would choose Miami over Cleveland if he had the choice. But I don't. That's the thing with Giannis. I don't know if he has the choice. Like, what is the relationship he has with Milwaukee? Cleveland chose Bron, Roy. Cleveland chose Bron. Yeah. Jay Gardner said, "Who do you think will win the MVP? It's going to be Shea. Shea should win the MVP, and I think he will win the MVP." Detroit said Giannis doesn't want to play screen and roll basketball. He wants the ball in his hands. Yeah, it might be hard to pair him with a dominant ball handler. Yep, I completely agree. I think the thing with Dame, the way it ended up, is like, yeah, okay, so clearly him with a dominant ball handler is not really going to work. I think Drew Holiday was kind of the perfect guard to pair him with, but now both of them older in age. What is the newer version of Drew Holiday? Mitchell back in the game. Crazy they ended the game with no Donovan Mitchell. What does that say about Mitchell, y'all? What does that say about Mitchell? They decided to close without him. 40 seconds to go. Looks like Cleveland's going to pull this one out. We successfully filibustered to the end of the game. Mobley gets contested at the rim. Loose ball. Knocked loose. Picked up by Barnes. Barnes over to Walter. Walter's going to take the lane to the basket. Reverse layup. Can't get it to go. Colin Murray-Boyle's there for the tip up and in. It's a 4-point game. They quickly get into Schroeder. She's going to throw a trap, and Jacoby Walter's going to use a foul. Going to play the foul game. It's a 4-point game. Not out of the realm of possibility. And guess what? Our time is almost caught up. 22 seconds to go here. Filibusters, Detroit. Filibusters. 22 seconds to go. Here we go. We caught up. Mario said Giannis needs a good sidekick and 3 and D guys. He does, but he's also getting older in age. Like, I start to think, like, should Giannis be the sidekick at this point in his career? Like, the injuries are starting to mount too high, man. They're too high. Too many injuries, too many severe injuries that he can't play through. Schroeder picks up a foul running into Harden there. It's 2 free throws for Harden. They're in the bonus. They got to play the foul game anyway. It's going to send them to the foul line for 2. You know, Giannis is my favorite player. When he's healthy, he's my favorite player in the league to watch. Like, I just love a overwhelmingly physically dominant player. And Giannis is that version in the league nowadays, but obviously getting up there in age. Detroit said he'd have to change his game like Bron's done. Yeah. I think he'd just have to accept a slightly lesser role. I think he would need to be the sidekick. You know? And if that means having to set 1 million ball screens in the game, that means having to set 1 million ball screens in the game. Right? Buzzer Beater said Harden seems like a guy who's just good enough to get a bag, but not well enough to get a chip. I mean, that's kind of been the case throughout his career so far. I'm still surprised they went through with that Garland trade. I get why they did it. I just don't agree with it. I don't agree with it. Harden missed the first free throw. He does knock down the second one. It's a 2-possession game, 5-point game here. 18 seconds to go. Toronto had 2 timeouts remaining, so now they have 1 timeout remaining after this one. So it's still possible. Still possible. Keanar said never liked Harden. Never liked Harden either. Never liked Harden either. Never was a Harden fan. I actually thought it was one of the worst watches in the league at the time. Like supremely talented, but one of the worst watches in the league. I was never updating the score anyway, by the way. I did all that to set this up and then never did it. So it's 120 to 125. Kinohara said your thumbnail says Pistons versus Magic. Yeah, we covered the Pistons versus Magic game, Kinohara, and then there was like 6 minutes to go in this game, and it was like, all right, we'll just stay live to see the end of it. We didn't really cover this game. We haven't even really been talking about it. Mostly because Cleveland held like a 10-point lead. Toronto trying to chip away at it. 18 seconds to go. They're going to come out of a timeout. They have 1 more timeout remaining. They're going to have to go quickly and get 2 baskets here. Down by 5. Billionaire TV said, appreciate your play-by-play. Appreciate you for hanging out with me, Billionaire TV. I really do. Isaac Garner said, are you doing the Lakers game? Not doing the Lakers game. Once a series ends up 3-0, I lose all interest in the series. I lose almost, unless it's like a conference finals or anything like that, I lose almost all interest in the series. In a first-round matchup like that, Austin Reeves is going to come back for the Lakers. Hopefully that series is over, because I don't care for that series anymore. I thought it was fun for like 2 games. 3 games. Game 3, you know, the big comeback from the Lakers. LeBron hits the 3 to tie it, and it's like, oh my goodness, what a throwback performance, what a gutty performance, and all the things, right? And they win it in overtime. That was a fun game that we didn't get to cover, but I did watch it. Keanar said, I'm interested in Denver now. I think they might win because of Dante and Ant. I still think they lose. Still think they lose that series. As a matter of fact, I kind of hope they lose that series. I don't think Denver deserves to win it. They get it to Barnes. They don't have time for all of this dancing and prancing. Barnes got to throw up the 3. He does. In and out can't get it to stay. Battle trying to get the tip. Mobley the rebound, and that'll end it right there. And with that ending, that's going to end us here tonight. We talked around a couple of things. Shout out everybody for hanging out with us. Appreciate you guys immensely. This is not the game we covered, but this is the final score of this game. Ultimately, Detroit won tonight. They stave off elimination for another couple of days. I don't know when the next time they play, but we'll see if that is a day we will be able to cover their game. So we'll be live again tomorrow. I believe the Knicks play tomorrow, right? Knicks game tomorrow, baby. Knicks game tomorrow. So we are tomorrow in Atlanta, 7 p.m. start time, so same start time as today. We'll be live 6:45 as usual, 15 minutes before start time. Keanar said, missed your response because I got hit with an ad. Oh, my bad, Keanar. So the reason why it says Magic Pistons is because we covered the Magic Pistons game. There was only 6 minutes left in this game at the conclusion of Magic Pistons, so we were like, all right, let's just check out the ending of this game real quick. We'll just hang out, talk basketball for a bit, see who pulls this one out, and Cleveland's going to pull it out. Actually, Cleveland missed both free throws, but there's 1.7 on the clock. This one's over. As far as Denver, the Denver thing, I don't think Denver deserves to win that series. So I actually don't want them to win. I don't want them to win. I still think they actually lose. I actually still think they lose. I don't think Aaron Gordon is healthy. I don't think he's going to play the next game. Payne Watson is out. He doesn't seem like he's going to come. Kenar said, ain't no deserves. A little bit of deserves. A little bit. I think Denver's been terrible in this series. And if the only reason they win is because 2 players go out with pretty significant injuries, that would suck. That would suck. I don't really care who wins this series because either one of them are getting smacked by the Spurs in the next round because Denver looks terrible. And Wemby's going to lock Jokic up. If he's playing like this against Gobert, I don't know what he's going to look like against Wemby, man. Gordon not being healthy, Peyton Watson not being healthy is a problem. Let alone a problem for the Timberwolves with no Anthony Edwards, no Dante DiVincenzo. So I think either way, either of these teams are getting smacked up by a healthy Spurs team. Right? Neither of these teams healthy, unfortunately. Isaac Arner said, I said to my dad, Denver's an unserious team. Yeah, they don't have the touch this season, man. Joker looked great versus Wemby end of the season. He did. Has not looked great against Gobert. Maybe it's just a matchup thing. Maybe Gobert's got his number here. But Wemby's been playing awesome in the playoffs as well. If Denver's having trouble with this Timberwolves defense before all of the injuries, they have no chance against that Spurs defense. Kenar said, I think Joker might have re-injured himself. So what? Anthony Edwards was out there hobbling on one leg as well. Sorry, you're out there, you got to hoop. I get it. We can give him the excuse. It's one bad series on his resume, one horrific series on his resume. That's fine. Everybody's got one. Everybody's got a bad series on their resume. Everybody, sometimes it's a matchup thing. Sometimes you're just tired and your shot leaves you and you got no legs and you're tired again. And, I get it. And the cards are stacked against you. But you're on the court. Maybe don't give a no-show performance, He said he didn't make an excuse, I'm just speculating. No, I get you. He doesn't look right. He hasn't looked right. He hasn't looked like the way he did the first half of the season after what did he hurt? Did he hurt his knee? Did he hurt his a muscle in his leg? Something like that? But it's the playoffs. Everybody's dealing with something. Brunson's out there hobbling on one ankle. He just re-rolled it in the previous game. Garner said, Wemby can't guard Jokic. Wemby can guard whoever he wants. Wemby's 9 gajillion feet tall, unfortunately for the rest of the league. Hyperextended knee, yeah. He hasn't looked right after the hyperextended knee, even when he came back, even when they were winning all those games. Remember, end of April, nobody was really playing anyway. They had the 13-game winning streak, though. Looked good going into the playoffs, but, it could just be a bad matchup thing. And now that Edwards and DiVincenzo are off, they make it to the next round to the Spurs. Who knows? Honestly, I'd rather see the healthier team at least try and match with the Spurs and give us a good series. I just don't think this. I'm out on this Nuggets team. I'm out on them. I'm actually with Jaden McDaniels. The defense is too bad. The defense is just way too bad. Especially with no Aaron Gordon and no Payne Watson, they have no wing defenders, and you just can't survive long in a playoff series with no wing defenders. You could survive regular season games because it's a different team every night. But you can't survive a playoff series where it's like, oh, you got no wing defenders? Cool. We'll just attack that weakness. So, no Aaron Gordon, no Payne Watson. The two of them is a backbreaker. If one of them were injured, maybe you could survive long enough to maybe the other one could get healthy and come back. But missing both of them out of action is just not, you're not going to be able to get it done. You're just not. I'm out on Denver. Whether they make it out of the series or not, which obviously they can now with Anthony Edwards and DiVincenzo injuries. But with that being said, we'll be back tomorrow to talk more basketball. Of course, we'll be back with our New York Knicks. Also, Boston, Philly again. Denver Timberwolves again is the night game. Problem is, no Anthony Edwards, no Dante DiVincenzo, no Peyton Watson, no Aaron Gordon. I'm just not super interested in watching these hampered teams limp against each other. Like, they're both clearly not 100% playing to their full potential, and it's just not entertaining basketball to me, unfortunately, man. Unfortunately. So I'll consider doing the doubleheader tomorrow. We'll see. If it was Knicks, Hawks leading into Celtics 76ers, I'm down, baby. I'm down for both of those games. But unfortunately, I'm just not super interested in this Nuggets Timberwolves series after the injuries. Unfortunately, you guys saw we were doing the doubleheaders. I'm down for it. I'm down as long as the games are good. I just don't. We'll probably do it. Why not? We'll probably do the doubleheader tomorrow. We'll set it up. We'll figure it out. If I don't decide to do it, you'll see it because it'll be loaded up and you'll see the rooms available. But with that being said, we're gonna sign off right there. We stayed live longer than we needed to. We're 3.5 hours. Fun times. Playoffs continue. Hopefully the Knicks end it tomorrow. Move on to the second round. I didn't watch Game 5 on TV. Yeah, I didn't either. I just watched. I didn't even watch the highlights. I listened to podcasts and they explained to me what happened. That was it. DeAndre Ayton a jumper, can't get it to go. Rebound. It's 2-3 to start in the Lakers-Rockets game. All right. But with that being said, remember, brush before bed, stay hydrated, and I'll catch you on the next one. Good night, everybody. Bye.